Maconi Entertainment's coverage of the Full-Length Cup Challenge. And tonight, we're coming to you from the place where patience goes to die and tempers go to live forever. It's Richmond Raceway. I'm Kirk Mills, joined by my partner in crime, Ewan O'Leary. And behind the curtain, we got the man making the magic happen. It's DJ Lyon with the gorgeous Angels tonight from Whiplash Sim Cams. Now, folks, we are at crunch time. Only 2 races left before the championship cutoff. Just 2 races. That's it. You're in. You're sweating. If you're out, you're sweating even harder. This is the moment that fingernails are going to get chewed. Spotters going to lose their voices. Crew chiefs suddenly start praying like they're at Sunday school. And what better track to stir up the pot than Richmond? 3/4 of a mile, D-shaped, short track where your tires wear out faster than my patience in traffic. You gotta be smooth, you gotta be smart, and if you're neither, well, just the wall will be glad to introduce itself to you. Hi, I'm Turn 3, and this is gonna hurt. So the championship picture, okay, we got a big house here. Let's take a look here at the standings. Andrew Dyson sitting on top with 5 wins, looking like he's got cheat codes enabled. Right now, Jonathan Delaney and Paul Hill with 3 wins each, circling like sharks at feeding time. And the 2-win club, you got Hoytsma, Hodgson, Benefield, Vroman, a couple other guys. All these guys are saying, hey, don't forget about us. And the one-hit wonders here, you got Gitter, Heitman, Long, and Murray. But take a look here at this cut line. You got Sean O'Brien Jr. and Thomas Kumacheski. It's important to take a look at that right there. And oh, the speed we've seen lately. We got a new guy who's out here driving. He's not going for no championship. He's trying to win tonight. He's on the pole. Joseph Galata. He's the fastest in practice, fastest in qualifying, and he grabs the pole with a 21.087. It's going to be exciting to watch. Now, let me ask you this. What are your hopes and dreams going into this one, Ewan? How do you pronounce it? Ewan? Is that correct? I want to make sure I got that right. Ewan. Oh, I got to get that right. Oh, there you go. Ewan, tell me.
It's common mistake to make. It's fine. Yeah, looking forward to it. As you say, patience very much leaves the building here at Richmond Raceway. That is absolutely for sure. But 400 laps going to be a long test tonight. Going to be really quite wearing on the drivers and indeed the tyres as well, which are said to be the problem rather than the fuel. Over the course of these 2 stages, 70 laps and then after 230 laps to make up the 400 lap race here today. So 9 tyre limit here today. Going to be a very long day. Going to have to be smart in the cautions that I'm sure we're going to have tonight.
Yeah, and Ewan, let me ask you another question here. Richmond's called the action track for a reason. Now, what do you think is going to test these drivers out most tonight? Anything at all?
I guess the relentless stop-start of Richmond is the real key here. It's a short track. You're constantly on the brakes, constantly in these turns, and yeah, that sort of relentless accelerating, braking, getting into these turns is going to be very wearing on the drivers.
Well, let's go ahead and start looking at our starting lineup here. Joseph Galata on the pole, we mentioned him earlier, followed by Patrick Gitter to his outside. Starting in third tonight, looks like that's going to be Robert Miller. He needs a win. He really desperately needs one. And to his outside is Paul Hill, locked into the next round. Starting in 5th tonight will be Matt DeCiani, Mr. Consistent. And to his outside is Alex Murray in the 7. Starting in the 7th place spot will be Clayton Hoffman, and to his outside will be Ralph Hutchinson in 8th. Starting in 9th tonight will be Andrew Dyson with 5 wins on the season, and to his outside, Dustin Hall rounds out your top 10.
Matthew Long just in behind them with Nolan Hodgson alongside in car 12, in position 12 rather nicely. Then it's Lucas Hoytsma and Jonathan Delaney then on row 7. Brandon Hastings and Cameron Stone then on row 8 ahead of Alex Coffey on the inside and Billy Brickley on the outside, 17th and 18th. Bobby Anderson and Stephen Williams round out your top 20.
21st, Sean O'Brien Jr., followed by Jacob Simpson in 22nd. 23rd tonight is going to be Matthew Boston Wheeler. To his outside, Adam Benefield have to charge his way to the front. 25th, Tanner Marty. To his outside, Corey Cook in 26th. Then we got 27th, Chris Davis, and to his outside, Tyler Hunter. Starting in 29th tonight will be Devin Medeiros, and to his outside will be Chad Sanner.
31st for Evan Mednard with William Owens alongside in car 30. 33rd is Dave Hutzma with Daniel Llewellyn alongside Richard Klingman and Neil Pearson round out your 36 entries at Richmond tonight.
Oh, it's going to be a lot of fun. These guys are really going to go out there and race really hard. We haven't seen Patrick Gitter out here for a few weeks. He's decided to come out and try and compete. We've got 76 track temp. That means it's a little chilly, meaning the tires won't wear out as quick. But 36 cars going out here at Richmond. It's just going to be exciting. We're coming through turns 3 and 4 to get things started. That pace car is antsy. He's going to pull down into the pit lane, and here we go from Richmond. 2 races to go in the full-length Cup Challenge through the restart zone. Here we go. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys, from Richmond. Through the restart zone. Here we go. Boogity, racing, boys, from Richmond. The top 4 have really cleared themselves from everybody else. Single file. Joseph Galata is going to come back to lead lap number 1 as the battle now is for the third place spot, rather, between Paul Hill and Miller. Miller is going to hang on to it as they are side by side all the way back from 8th on back. Right now, that's Alex Murray on the outside and Hoffman on the inside as they continue the battle further forward in the field.
Yeah, another look from Hill coming into 3, and Miller shoved to the outside. It's Paul Hill on the low line, up on the high line. Robert Miller to begin this race, and he's just going to tuck in. Long race ahead, and so worth not getting shuffled right to the back. You can very easily get freight train if you end up on the outside here at Richmond.
Yeah, you do not want to be on the outside, Ewan, that's for sure. But right now, Jonathan Delaney's up in the 4th lane, way up out of the track, back in the field right now. That time by, he was in, looks like 14th, so he's got a ways to go to get back up to the front, but he's trying everything, every line that you can grab. Up front, though, the leader has checked out. Galata is already a 2.5 seconds ahead of the rest of the field. And remember, this is a very competitive field. Drivers are trying to do everything they can to get by. Right here, you're looking right back from Hoffman's rear bumper here at DeCiani, who's under fire from Dustin Hall, having a good run this week. We haven't had necessarily that great of a year so far for Hall, but he's also going to need a win in order to be able to make it to the next bit, is the best way to put it. But I am really, one driver is standing out to me right now, and that's the 6 car of Jonathan Delaney. He has been running a line that's so much higher than everybody else. Look how high up on the track he is. He's like a whole lane up compared to everyone else.
Yeah, it's very bizarre, the way he's running so high early on. I'd be slightly concerned about the health of his tyres later on in the run. If he decides to do that all day, it looks like he's finally decided to see sense and at least go for that 1 lane lower, probably described as the middle, I guess, through here now, in that sort of middle lane where you're trying to keep tight to the guys on the low side there, and that's really where you want to be. Delaney, of course, one of the drivers with 3 wins so far this season, 3rd place overall in the points, confirmed in our playoffs for 2025. Currently in 2nd place in our playoff standings.
Yeah, they're doing just fine here. He's got a ways to go. It's a long race. You got to try and survive as long as we can. But, I mean, where he's at, it's really unusual. You normally see Delaney up in the top 5. He has not the best of starting positions, so he's a little further back than usual. And remember, this is an ex-Coke guy, so he's really fast. He's good at driving. And it's going to be exciting to see if he's able to march it up through the field to get to the front. But something that's catching my eye again, that lead is now over 2 seconds. Galata has just decided to go up and drive away from everybody else, leaving them in the dust. Look at how lonely he must be. But he's not really complaining, I don't think, much at all there, Ewan.
No, he won't be complaining, but I'd suspect his tyres might be complaining if he continues on at this speed. There's got to be a reason that he is so much faster than the rest at this stage. Is it because he's got that car set up right from the very beginning in this sort of evening, dusky period of the race, and it might tail off later as we get under the lights and into the darkness? Or is he ripping through these tyres early on? We know that we're going to get a stage after 70 laps, and so you can sort of mark your first stint after that. Can those tyres go at another 60 laps at this pace? I would highly doubt it, and that's where we're going to start to see some of these guys get back into the fray.
Oh, I'm excited to see how that will close up. But the battle for second starting to heat up. Hoffman made a move on Paul Hill for 3rd. He got that done. He moved up to 3rd, and now he's on the back bumper of Patrick Gitter. All over the back bumper of that 21 car. He's looking high in turns 3 and 4 right now. I think he's going to try and move his way forward. He's been trying to march his way up towards the front. He started 7th. Up to 3rd. He's really moving forward, him and a few other of the biggest movers so far. I think he's one of the few that has moved up quite a bit. But take a look right there, going for second. He's side by side into turn number 3. And I think that if he's able to get a good run on the exit, and it sure looks like he is going to do so, he'll have him cleared into 1.
And not, is he quite clear this time round? He's broken quite early there as Gidders, so Hoffman could have got into line, but he decided to take the top line one more time to make absolutely sure of it. But he moves into second place. He's up 5 on the day. Now this next lap after this one is going to be very, very important and a good one to have a look at in terms of lap speed. They're already a little bit down on the early lap speed because of the tyres just getting the edge taken off them now. But watch this next lap for Hoffman. Is it any quicker than Gallotta? Is he going to go and chase down 99 now?
That's the question. I'm excited to see. So let's take a look at Gallotta. He's coming across the start-finish line right now. He just ran a 21.554. Second place came across the line. He's a 10th off the speed of the leader, who is now almost a full 3 seconds ahead of the field. We'll see how long that lasts. But in terms of the rest of the field, I've seen single file racing throughout the entirety of the field, which is a rare occasion. But the next gen, with its horrible dirty hair, makes it very easy to see single file racing like this. And everyone doesn't want to waste their tires, so they're just waiting for the right time to move. But if your guys back here like Mesnard or anybody back there, I mean, you'd think you'd be pushing or something like that to try and avoid going a lap down a little later in the run.
Yeah, it's going to be a big danger for those at the back, absolutely. And so this is happening a lot earlier than you might expect in the night. Already 16 seconds the gap from first down to 36th. Chris Davis, who is currently last in the field. As you saw on the lap times a moment ago, we're doing just under 22 seconds per lap. So that is about 3/4 of a lap down already. And don't forget, we're only in the first 20 laps. If this is what we're seeing here for another 50 laps, if we're going all the way to the end of the first stage without a caution, then we're going to see quite a few drivers already a lap down. I would argue anybody who's over 8 seconds off the lead at the moment. If this carries on at this speed, then they're all going to be a lap down. I doubt that Gallotta will continue at this speed, though.
I mean, I wouldn't put it against him. He's one of the fastest guys on the short tracks. He's only raced 4 races this year, but his average running position on short tracks is 2nd. I mean, that is something that makes him unique, as it looks like Paul Hill looking to the outside of Patrick Gitter, who's staying on the bottom. I think Gitter's saving something. He has to be trying to put something in the tank because everybody else has been making moves on the outside of him, but he's been sticking to the bottom, and it looks like Paul Hill is even with them as they come across the line. That is for the 3rd place position, and it looks like that 26 really just wants to get by, but he's not going to squeeze him or anything. I think he'll have the run here and clear him off turn 2, and he sure does. Patrick Gitter will pull in behind. And new 3rd place driver will be Paul Hill there.
I think you're absolutely right about Gitter, by the way. The way he's let some of these guys in when there's been an opportunity to. When we saw Hoffman getting up to the back of 21, he'd let him in when he had the opportunity. And he's just done the same there with Hill, who didn't find that very difficult at all to actually make the move there. So, yeah, Gitter's definitely holding something back here. They know that this first run's going to be 70 laps at most, and he's accounting for the fact it might be 70 laps until we get a caution. So he's just holding back for the moment, and expect to see him maybe shoot back up the order in those final few laps as he races towards the end of that first stage, and of course that first grab of points, which comes very early in this race.
You know, the battle on the screen since we got it up here, I mean, this has been really good to watch right here. That 41 car Dyson, he actually hasn't been doing too good in terms of his march to the front. He's lost a spot since the start of the race, but he's maintaining, I guess is the best way to put it. But right behind him, you got that battle, I think the 8 car it is right there, Ralph Hutchinson. He is losing spots more than others around him. He just got passed by Matthew Long there in the 28, crossing the line. He started in 8th. He's already back to 13th spot, and he's got Lucas Hoytsma all over his back bumper. Something must be off in terms of the 8 car, unless he might be saving tire, but I wouldn't expect, if you're saving, to drop back that far. I mean, that 8 car just seems to be not operating right now.
You get to a stage as well, especially with tyre saving like this, that you can't let it go on too badly in terms of losing track position, because there's a point at which you actually need to use up a bit of tyre life to keep a decent bit of track position. and I would say that's probably the top 10. So you'll see with Gitter out front, he will make sure that he doesn't fall completely through the field. He will try and stay up towards the front in some way, and you're seeing that at the moment. He's distancing the 4 car fairly easily at the moment as Hill actually gets past Hoffman for second. You're seeing some of these guys who save tyres, they'll try and use a bit of that to keep their track position. That's maybe not what's happening a little bit further down here. These guys, as we go back to them, are sort of scrapping for that going a lap down, or not going a lap down I should say. Chris Davis in 74 is already 1 down now as Galota starts to get to the back of the pack.
Well, you see it. We knew it was going to happen. Galata is just that much faster than everybody else. He's about already a couple spots, let's say about maybe 30 car lengths back from the next car lap down here, but he's got a ways to go. But we're on board now. Take a look at now. You see on the bottom of the racetrack, that's the 48. And to the outside is Billy Brickley and the 44, Tyler Hunter, there on the bottom. I mean, these guys are back here in the back 20s. But their goals are different than everybody else's. I think that they've realized, hey, this leader we got, Galata, he is on the gas, he's on the hammer. He's already pulled up to a 4.5 second lead, 4.25 second lead over everybody else. And he's in a position where he just really needs to go. But I think that we may have just had a moment a few seconds ago with Clayton Hoffman. Hoffman may have lost a couple positions all at the same time. He was pushing in second place a couple laps ago, and he just got passed on raw speed by both Patrick Gitter and Paul Hill. So something amiss with the 92 car on the long run.
And something else that went awry for Galota, not last lap but the one before, was that for the first time tonight, first time that I've seen, he was reeled in by Hill and Gitter by at least a tenth in both cases. A 22.2 from him last time round. What about for Paul Hill as he goes over line? 22.1. There's another half tenth taken from Paul Hill. So we're starting to see the tides turning now, and you cannot go out this hard on a set of tyres and not expect to see the consequences of it. We've still got more than half of this first stage to go, and if Galota's already losing speed, look at that, 22.3. This could become a concern by the end. Look at some of these lap times further down. Hodgson last time, 22.1. Very impressive from him.
Yeah, Nolan has been the guy that really stand out there this year. And you're seeing right here a battle now between Robert Miller on the outside and the 41 of Andrew Dyson. Robert Miller, we got to be thinking about him because he has had speed week in and week out in these races, but something always seems to happen to take him out of a winning position. However, this week it looks like he's right now has pace to stick where he's at right there in the back part of the top 10. However, I think that 15 car, if some adjustments can be made, he could probably compete with these guys. But yeah, second place and the leader are even on lap times that last time by. Same times. And with that in mind, I think Galata's just got himself a hot rod underneath him. That thing is just on rails tonight. Yeah,
it's certainly been a good start for him. And the way that he's gotten out to this lead has been very, very impressive. But it remains to be seen, is this just a shortish run at 35 laps where he's better than the rest, or is it going to be long run speed that's a concern for him tonight, or does he have both, in which case everybody else could be in for a very long evening indeed. As you can see, the sun setting in the background. Of course, traditional Richmond race will become a night race very, very soon, and the track conditions, of course, changes that go with that. Current temps 84 Fahrenheit on the track. It's not that warm to begin with, it's only going to get cooler from here.
Yeah, I'm starting to notice some drivers are showing more speed the further back you go. For example, Delaney has been doing nothing but moving forward in that 6 car. He started 14th, he's up to 8th. He's absolutely charging right now. He must be really good on the long run. So I do got to give some props here. You're seeing some interesting battles right in front of this between the 12 car Nolan Hodgson and Alex Murray here. This is the battle for 6. They're side by side. Nolan's looking low, able to get the job done, dived it in deep, but Murray goes right back down to the bottom to follow them through. And you got to be thinking about this race in terms that we haven't seen anything happen. These guys have been really clean. They kept the car underneath them, and that just attests to the skill level that we have here at the Full Length Cup Challenge. A lot of competitive drivers week in and week out.
Absolutely, and what a great show this has been so far in terms of driving skill. I mentioned about the relentlessness of short track racing. When you have so many frequent turns like this, like you do on a short track, constant on the brakes, into the turn, accelerate onto the brakes, into the turn again, constant 400 times, or technically, I guess, into the corners 800 times, really, when you think about it. It's a testament to these drivers' skill. Of course, fatigue will come into it later tonight, but to begin with a run like this has been absolutely incredible. 40 laps knocked off before you can even blink, with absolutely no incident at all. What a great show from these set of drivers early on.
You know, after looking at this field running order right now, I mean, I'm seeing a lot of cars that are either like going one way or going the other. And right there on your screen, there's two of them. You got the 83 who's moving his way forward. Remember, he started all the way back in 24th. He's already up 10 spots, up to 14th. But then 2 cars behind him is that 8 car. Remember, he's started up there in the 8th place spot. He's down to 15th. So you're just going to be having comers and goers throughout this run. As the leader actually catches to the back bumper of a handful of lap cars, puts a few more cars a lap down now, all the way to Rich Kleinman, running 34th right now. But he's got one more of Daniel Llewellyn before he has this long gap before they get back to another car, which is the tail end of the actual line of cars. There's some stragglers he's getting right now, but whenever he catches the back line of the actual cars, that's when you're starting to see some real short track racing. You got to be able to both keep your car straight, fast, and controlled, and also be able to navigate the lap traffic. That's just what makes racing around short tracks that much more fun.
It's so fun, short track racing. I remember when I was getting into NASCAR racing, I couldn't quite, it's about, you know, when I was a kid, I couldn't quite understand the appeal of mile and a halves, to be honest. I didn't really enjoy them, but short track racing, absolutely all over it. Fascinating style of racing because it's just action all of the time for the drivers. Always, it's you've got to be on your toes. You've got to be absolutely switched on, and we're seeing that with Gallotta, as we say on the short tracks. The circuit is very much a conveyor belt now. There is no space for anybody. Although for the leader, it looks a little bit quieter here. About to catch up to a real long line of cars, which goes, by the way, right the way from about 4th place all the way down. No gaps more than a second, all the way from 4th to 30th.
That's what we call the main pack right there. Those groups, you know, it's very long and it's a long line, but you don't want to be too far behind it because you will get lapped. And I think some folks in the back of the field are now showing some urgencies. It looks like Nolan here trying to make a move, or at least DeCiani. They're on the top side trying to make the top line work. 12's on the bottom. And I think the 6-car Delaney has been following the 12's every move. When the 12 makes a pass, that 6 car is surely right there in his tire tracks to try and make the same exact move, just like he is right now. Down to the inside, 12 car moves up to 5th, and the 6-car Delaney moves up again, just like that, up to, looks like 6th if he's able to make the pass on DeCiani there. He would be up 8 positions from the start of this race. Benefiel now up 12 spots to 12th spot. There's a long way for them to go to catch back up to the front, but with these long green flag runs, the cream is going to start rising to the top, and we want to be able to see who they may be. Right now, Gallotta obviously is the class of the field throughout the entire run.
Yeah, and as you say, we're starting to see those guys who can work their way through the field actually make it there now, like Benefiel. Not entirely sure why 83 was so far down in qualifying. Maybe there's a bit of a story there, but 24th in qualifying doesn't seem to represent this car's pace at all from the early part of this race. And for many of those guys further down in this first stage, it has become survival. Don't get lapped. It's not going to end your night by going 1 lap down at Richmond. You can win that back at some point over the course of the 400 laps, but you'd rather not have to. You'd rather stay on the lead lap all the way through if you possibly can. And Benefiel's doing a very good job at keeping that at bay, and maybe even getting a stage point or 2 by the end. Up 13, and he's now 1 pass away from at least a point.
He wants to get stage points, but the thing is he doesn't necessarily need them. He's won already this year, and so, I mean, stage points, sure, they'll help a little bit, but not necessarily. I don't think he's necessarily in the running for trying to be the regular season champion. But right here, that 6 car's having trouble getting around DeCiani there. He's tried the last handful of laps, but he's just too loose. You saw it right there. He had a wiggle, lost a lot of momentum on the exit of 2. Still battling. You're looking at the right rear spoiler of that 6 car, looking at DeCiani on the outside. I always like that camera angle, but there's always strange places to put cameras on these cars, but with the sand, it's helped out a lot, that's for sure. But DeCiani's doing a great job of holding on to his own. He's not going to let him go that easy. He's just holding his line, and 6 cars having struggles getting on by. compared to Nolan, who was able to just fly on by, who's now pulled away from the battle too.
Sorry, you can see as well that the line is generally just moving a little bit away from that yellow line at the bottom of the racetrack. Just as we go on here, it will start to go further up and up and up the hill. So watch out for that over the course of these longer runs. Tisiani is going to be very difficult to pass if he stays there stubbornly. You see Delaney hasn't got a good enough car on that low side to properly make a pass. It's going to have to be very aggressive. What he needs to do is turn down low, get aggressively into the corner and aggressively side to side. There's inevitably going to be a bit of contact at some stage, but with Tisiani running that line, it's very, very difficult, it seems, to actually get past him. Now he goes to the bottom, and the sixth car tries the top, but not making it work quite as well as in the background. That is is that Miller? Yeah, just going even higher further back.
Trying to find a line that works for him, but Benefield's going to the bottom, and he's making it even with Robert Miller there, as it looks like we had a change for position for fourth. Nolan Hodgson got by Hoffman a couple laps ago. With that in mind, they're actually coming up, this entire group here is coming up on a handful of lap cars. So that should continue to make this slightly interesting with navigating the traffic. What I'm thinking about right now in terms of where they're running and how they're doing, I mean, you got to be thinking some cars are going to start falling off like a cliff, but that 83 has just been pushing forward and forward and forward to the point now where he's up to 9th and he's looking to try and catch up to the back bumper for 8th. I think that there is a high probability that he might even crack top 5 before the end of the stage. We're getting so close to it.
I think if this race ran past the stage, actually green flag, and they all stayed on these old tyres, I think Benefield certainly would be in the top 5 very quickly. Maybe, as you say, he does have enough time to do this, but he is running out of time. 13 to go at the end of this one. Still door to door between Delaney and Tisiani. This is the best chance that the six has had. Delaney getting his nose in front on occasion, but he's not quite cleared. Maybe now he can pull to the outside. Is he clear? Yes, he is, and he gets to 6th place.
That pass took like at least 20 laps to get done. That shows how much dedication it needs to be able to get on by. But that, when you battle that hard, it creates a little stack up behind you. Take a look at those cars are side by side now. Adam Benefield to the inside, and you see Dyson on the top. Now Benefield's even going to be able to get by that 4 car, and the Dyson's kind of stuck. He's already up to 7th. That 83 is like going. He is on the march to the front.
Yeah, this long run speed that 83 has is remarkable, as they're now going to put a lap on 09, that looks like, stuck on the outside. Does look like Benefield's going to be knocking on the door of a top 5, and you mentioned that stage points, of course, not too important for those who have already got a win. It's worth pointing out, as you say, that Adam Benefield is going to be in our playoffs starting in a couple of weeks' time with the round of 16. However, he's very close to gaining a couple of regular season positions, and all of those positions, especially towards the front of regular season point. Oh,
sorry to interrupt you. Yeah, Miller just dive bombed right on the inside of Dyson. Dyson blocked all the way down to the bottom of the racetrack and almost took each other out. That was so close, as it looks like Benefield gets up to 6th ahead of them. Let's take a look at that move here. My goodness, 15's on the top side. He's going to get a run on the 41 on the exit of the corner. You see that here. He's going to try and make a move down to the bottom, and that 41 just chases him all the way down to the bottom, gets loose and almost wrecks the car, but they hang on to it, and the 41 defends the position.
That was really, really close into turn number 1. It's a classic case of wanting to make the pass, but also, you know, needing to facilitate a car going down his inside as well, which could have gone very, very wrong very quickly there, but thankfully they get away with it this time around. And still no caution, by the way, in this first stage. What a great first run we've had here at Richmond tonight. We're just 6 laps away now from that first stage, and still no caution, which is absolutely fantastic. Great green flag racing.
You have to think about it here. I mean, like you see on your screen, everybody's like crazy tight with the exception of that 83 who just cracked the top 5. I knew he had a chance of getting there. I tell you, that 83, it's visually different. You can watch the 83 for lap in and lap out, and he is just leaps and bounds faster than the cars around him right now. I think he might be second fastest car on the racetrack other than Galata, who has now opened his lead up to 5.5 seconds. But you got to remember, none of that really matters for Galata. He's not going for a championship here. He just wants the win of the race. Everybody else here is trying to go for, getting into the championship playoffs. That's what it's all for. But that 99, look, he's so far ahead of everybody else. At the Benefield, he's 10 seconds ahead of him. I mean, that's phenomenal for the driver of the 99.
Admittedly, Benefield did have a bit of time to make up in terms of grid position, but even so, as you say, that's a very, very big gap for Galata to have pulled out already in this race. As we continue to follow these fights in the midfield, or towards the bottom end, I should say, of the top 10. There's a number of drivers on the outside looking in to try and get these very last stage points tonight, with 3 to go now as they cross the line.
They are battling really hard with Dyson here. Dyson is just all over the back bumper of that 6-car Delaney. The 15 has been trying to get by Dyson for a handful of laps. And there he goes again, down to the bottom. He's going to try and make the bottom line work, but it looks like the 41's going to be able to hang on to it unless some side draft occurs. It looks like there might be. 15 dives it back in again, as it looks like they're coming to the white flag in the stage when they cross the stripe next time by. So we're coming down to the end of this thing, and this top 10 positions are still not set in stone, as they're still side by side. Delaney now trying to make a move on Hoffman.
Yeah, this is for sixth place in the group, sorry. And further in the background, side by side for 10th as well. The very last stage point as car 92 just goes up a little bit high. And there in the background is the battle. 57 on the inside. Stone looking for that final stage point.
Here we go for the final lap, final time before the end of the stage. Right now, heading down the back. You see it right here. Dyson's trying to hang on to it, but Miller got to his outside. He's going to try and make it work on the top. 41's able to make the bottom line rotate, and it looks like that 15's going to beat him to the line in a side-by-side. I think he did. Let's take it. No, 41. Dyson might have got it. We'll have to check at the line. I think it was Dyson got him by less than 200ths of a second.
Wow. That was very close.
Yeah, but Joseph Galata, he got the stage win. Nobody saw that changing at any point. But that time by, I mean, Galata, this stage point doesn't necessarily matter too much for him. But now everybody's going to come down pit road, take 4 tires and gas, and we will be returning to you at the conclusion of that pit cycle. And we're going to go ahead and take a break here from Richmond. And we'll be right back. You're watching the Full Length Cup Challenge on Maconi Entertainment.
Paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars,
Paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all four license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with license classes. We have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for the Full Length Cup Challenge here on Maconi Entertainment. Up front, Galata Cup Challenge here on Maconi Entertainment. Up front, Galata, we know that car has a lot of speed. We're about to go back green for our second stage start right here. That 99 so fast. They decided to extend the caution just by 1 lap. Looks like that it's going to be a minute before we get back underway here. So let me ask you, Ewan, what do you think you got to do if you're Paul Hill here, knowing that Galata is just able to scoot leaps and bounds ahead of everybody else on these starts?
Yeah, and it looks in the short term that Galata does have a better car. I would say leave it for the moment. Try and work on your short run a little bit and maybe hope that that comes down to it a little bit later on. Because actually, in terms of long run speed, after about 30 laps or so, they had very similar cars. So you need to get to a stage where your first 30 laps are a bit better so that you're closer to Galata to actually battle with him in the 30 lap plus part of the run. But for now, just work on the car. More than 300 laps to go here. This will not be the last caution.
That's a guarantee. We got more stages, but Galata coming out of turn number 4. We're back underway. Great jump for the inside line. We are back underway here from Richmond for the full-length Cup Challenge. Patrick Gitter trying to make a move for second place. I think the top line is going to be something you definitely want to avoid, to say the least. Oh, there goes Patrick Gitter in front of the field. He collects the 4-car GC. I see several cars. It's the big one on the back straightaway at Richmond. Sander hits the inside wall. This is the biggest crash I've seen at Richmond in a long time. Ralph Hutchinson, Dustin Hall, Billy Brickley, Chad Sander, William Owens, and many more are involved in this accident on the back straightaway on the restart.
My goodness me, that is a huge crash on the back straight. We'll try and decipher where that all started, but this is massive on the back straight on this restart. It was such a good start to the race early on, but I'm afraid this second start, way less clean. Patrick Gitter, who ran well in run 1 in stage 1, has unfortunately just lost it on his own, got loose off the turn, and from then nobody has a chance. If you're outside the top 10, you're basically in it guaranteed.
Robert Miller is out of the race. He got contact with the 21. Robert Miller has disconnected after that contact. Again, the wreck bites him again. He had speed this week. He had speed every week. But take a look. Let's ride on board with Bobby Anderson, current owner of the Full Length Cup Challenge, and he is doing a lovely job running this series. But up ahead of him, you just see a huge checkup, not even that much smoke, and everybody just piles in, similar to what we saw at Watkins Glen last week for the Xfinity cars. Everybody just going in there full bore and was not able to stop.
Yeah, everybody, as I said, everybody outside the top 10 pretty much guaranteed to be involved in that somehow. There's going to be so much damage on these machines now. I mean, I've not even tried to count how many have come down pit lane. I would run out of fingers very quickly. There have been a lot of drivers coming down. This is Nolan Hodgson's view, now 35th after getting involved with it. Looks like he's doing a good job of slowing down initially, and actually does in the end. I thought he was involved, but he's not. He's picked his way through nicely. If you're at the very back, you have that luxury, but if you're anywhere near the middle, you are absolutely in that crash.
After taking a look at this wreck, I'd love to take a look at the 20 car on board. Can we get the 20 car on board? Devin Medeiros. He had quite the view of this giant parking lot, and he only made minimal contact with a teammate. Let's see if we can't get that 20 car replay here for Devin Medeiros, who had a top 10 run last week. Let's see how he saw it. So that giant wreck, he sees it, gets on the binders right here. Holy cow, stop, and everybody in all directions is wrecked around him, and he's like, oh my gosh. And that is the largest crash we have seen on a short track this season. I think that was at least 18 to 19 cars is what I've counted so far. As we're gonna get another restart in less than 60 seconds.
It's never ending. By the way, just a quick couple of things. Still 28 on the lead lap. As you said, Robert Miller, the only official retirement so far. He will go into next week in a must-win situation at Daytona.
Oh, they held off the green flag. They stopped the green. They're not going to go. Pace car's off, but they will not go racing. They did not call. There was a whole lot of confusion in the back of the field. Cars 3 and 4 wide. A lot of cars. This has just gotten extremely chaotic. Absolutely just unexpected. We had a clean and green first stage, and then everybody dies on the back straightaway. And luckily here, they were going slow enough I think that a lot of cars had minimal damage. The only one that I think had severe damage was Chad Sanner, and a few others like got rear-ended a little bit, but that stuff is going to be able to be repaired, get back out there on the racetrack, and we're about to go back green again here again. Watch this restart, because anything could happen. We're back underway there, Ewan. That bottom line, Galata's just able to get away. But Benefiel now up to the second place spot, battling with Paul Hill for that position as they head down into the corner. Off of turn number 2, everybody looks like they're going to hang on to it, and they sure do. But this shuffled up the field. A lot of cars that were running at the back moved their way to the front. Neil Pearson was at the back of the field when that wreck happened, but he was able to scoot through and pass a lot of cars. Now he's in the top 10.
Yeah, so many running in the top 10 for the first time. Alex Coffey in 6th place, Brandon Hastings in 7th place, Sean O'Brien Jr. in the top 10 at the moment. He's one of those drivers just above the points cut-off line at the moment. That is exactly where he needs to be tonight as he looks to guarantee himself a place in the round of 16. That's starting the playoffs at the end of August, of course, with a Southern 500. It's going to be a very important race for him tonight at Richmond. New fastest lap of the race. Galata gets out to a 1.2 second lead immediately.
That lap is blazing. I mean, in terms of the lap time, he ran a 20.8 in the race. For qualifying alone, I mean, they were running lap times that were very, I mean, some guys are running lap times similar to that in their qualifying sets. So, I mean, he's just that much faster. Oh, they're wrecking off at turn number 2. It looks like I see the 8 car of Ralph Hutchinson. Lucas Hoytsma going around on the back straightaway. That's going to be our 3rd caution of the night. 2nd one for incident. 2 cars spin. Ralph Hutchinson and Lucas Hoytsma, 2 teammates involved in that accident.
Yeah, we'll get a view on it again in a moment, but this race starting to have a few more chops and changes now, a few more stops and starts. 2nd caution for incident tonight, and it comes within 20 laps of the 2nd stage beginning. Oh, it already started in front here, 97. Pretty unlucky to be involved in it in the end.
Yeah, he was just trying to avoid it, got clipped by Patrick Gitter. He was on the bottom. That 8 car is the one who got loose. Let's take a look, see what happened. He was going to the inside of the 4 car DeCiani. This might be for 18th, it looks like. But he just got loose on his own on the bottom of the racetrack in front of a few cars. And he at least, I see maybe 4 cars of damage there. But 8 car just getting loose is what brings out our 3rd caution of the night. Man, this race is just all over the place.
Nolan Hodgson has had a pretty good view of both incidents. See how much he had to slow down for this one. He almost came to a stop, avoiding the last one. He sees the 8 car spin around and he just waits, does the right thing, and he will be still 35th at the end of that. But, you know, he's at least not got any more damage, and he's still 2 laps down. He'll look for the opportunity to get back onto the lead lap a little bit later. Some more drivers into pit lane, by the way. There'll be for sure some damage going on, damage repairs been going on. Patrick Gitter, though, one of those at the front of the field, coming in again here from the lead lap.
Yeah, he had some damage from that accident, so he had to come back down and get that stuff fixed. A lot of cars trying to beat the pace car out here on the front straightaway, and it looks like the majority of them will, it looks like, is that's going to be it shook up the entire field. I mean, seeing drivers that we didn't see up front all day, like Evan Mesnard started 31st, he's up to 13th. We have Neil Pearson, who started 36th, he's up to 8th, biggest move of the race by far. I mean, just because they were able to avoid the accidents and stay alive, that's what this is all about. And something I love about this is that, you know, you don't necessarily always have to have the fastest car to have a good day. You just got to be lucky, got to be in the right position, put yourself there, and luck has a little bit to do with it, but a lot of it is also positioning, just planning, and the odds of you getting through that wreck were just so slim. I'm really surprised to see the 62 into the top 10 after such an amazing start.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been small stop and start since we got into this 2nd stage, but hopefully we're going to have a nice green flag run now to get on with stage number 2. So many of these drivers have not yet come in since that stage break. All of the top 9 in this race have stayed out since then, and then a few more below that. Williams, Mesnard and Medeiros have stayed out, along with Wheeler and Corey Cook. So what's that, about 15 or so have stayed out since that stage there. It's a bit messy in the back. Hopefully we go green back this time round again though.
Pace car is going to dive down into the pit road. I do not hear anything from race control. Here we go. Galata gets the green flag. We're back underway here from Richmond for the full-length Cup Challenge here on Maconi Entertainment. Bottom of the racetrack, take a look at Delaney. He's trying to make that bottom line work on Paul Hill. He's able to stay even with him. It looks like he's going to try and clear himself, and it sure does work out just by inches there that time by as the battles continue throughout the field.
I'd like to know how convinced the spotter was telling him that he was clear there, because I wasn't convinced watching it. It was very, very close, but Delaney into second. How much can he give chase to Galata now off of the start? And looks like that initial short run speed might be just halted by the fact we've had a couple of cautions here. Those first 20 laps on these tyres have mostly been taken on under caution so far. Does that help the chasers stay with Galata a bit closer this time?
I think we'll find out over the course of the run, but that 81 car, I want to talk about him a little bit. He's a weekend winner already. Corey Heim, he works on Corey Heim's car. A few, I guess, parts and pieces on his vehicle, that 81 car. And he races here with the full-length Cup Challenges on the weekends. And I'll tell you what, he's having a good day so far, able to miss the wreck up to 8th in that 81 car of Brandon Hastings, showing a lot of speed. And you'll see him normally whenever you see victory celebrations. He's a part of the crew there on the week in, week out. And he's just a really nice guy all around, really cool guy.
Yeah, he's clearly going well in Xfinity this year, Corey Heim. I don't actually know
Xfinity, truck series.
Truck series, sorry.
That's okay.
Mix up there. I follow that account that totals the points in the old Winston Cup format.
Oh,
Do you know the
yes.
account on it?
Yes, I
know
sure
that he's
do.
doing well because he's doing rather well in that standing. So he must be doing all right in the real life as well.
Oh, well, he won. Yeah, he wins a lot. I mean, this championship's practically him and his teams. But we're here in the eSport world right now. We got to tell you, Jacob Simpson here in the 2 car making a move to the inside of the 57 of Cameron Stone. He gets the pass done. It's a new look for that 2 car. I've never seen him in the Red Bull car, at least not that I can remember. But he's doing really well here as well. He's right now 18th. He's got to have some ways to go to get back up to the front. But a couple cars behind him, look at that, is a driver on the front row, Patrick Gitter. He had a lot of problems, had to come down, get some damage repaired, but he's trying to march his way back up to the front as well, as the entire field has single filed out rather nicely.
Yeah, good to see after those first couple of restarts. First green flag pit stop of the day, by the way, has gone to Dave Huitzma in 09. He was already 1 lap down, might have been already 2 down, but he's certainly a couple of laps down now, and he will drop to the back end of the field of drivers who are still running in this race. So Huitzma unfortunately needs some more damage repair, as I'd imagine a lot of these guys do, walking wounded after those couple of restarts, those couple of crashes.
Yeah, actually, Dave blew a tire on lap 95. It looked like it, at least. He goes into turn 3, and his car just did not turn, and he goes straight up into the outside wall, kills his right front tire, and I think Dave might have a long time in the pits before he's able to be back out there again. But we're looking here. Let's take a look up at the front group here. I think the closest battle that we have on the racetrack right now is going to be with Neil Pearson and Brandon Hastings and Alex Coffey, these guys on screen. I mean, this is the closest that we have up at the front. Everybody else is really spread out to their own little gaps in the front. Galata, Delaney, Paul Hill, Adam Benefield, and Andrew Dyson. These guys have been the class of the field week in and week out at all the tracks. It didn't matter where we went. One of these guys was leading by a lot. And so with that in mind, I mean, there's a few other guys in the field that have a lot of speed as well, but the cream really did rise to the top here. Top 5, some of the fastest guys all year, and real championship contenders.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see them do battle over the course of the playoffs starting in a couple of weeks' time. Of course, with the exception of Galata, of those who are running inside the top 5. This is only his 5th start this season, Galata, and you've got to have done 12 races in the opening part, and indeed be in the top 25 in points along with a win. So he's not done any of those, and he's not got himself into the playoffs, of course, but he will be a feature in those last races for sure, because his pace tonight has been fantastic over these first 100 laps.
Alex Murray here in the 7 car, driving for Precision Speed Solutions, running right there in the 8th place spot. trying to keep that car underneath him. We hadn't seen him for the last handful of weeks. He's been gone, but he has a lot of speed. He's a winner. He's a guy who's able to compete at a high level. And Alex Murray, I mean, he's going to be a guy that's going to be there at the end of the day, no matter what. He has more speed than a lot of folks. He's just pretty quick. And it's going to be exciting to see if he's able to make his way further forward. But he's sitting right now just on the back end of the top 10, right behind Neil Pearson, also having a fantastic day. But Alex Coffey's also there in front of them. With this position, it's so hard to pass. Everybody's so tight in the center and on exit. You can't necessarily make any passes without risking damaging your car. Right when I say that, though, take a look right here. The 7 car of Murray is under fire from Brandon Hastings in the 81.
Yeah, that's one of the highest positions being battled over at the moment inside the top 10, just inside the 10. And you see, it's really being created by Coffey, you might say, with Pearson, Murray, Hastings, O'Brien rounding out the top 10 there. But they are single file for the moment, getting settled in here to a run. And I think those 2 restarts that went a bit wrong, I think has just almost frightened everybody into a bit of a calmer restart here at this time round.
Galata didn't necessarily, though, pull out to the largest fleet of the race so far for him. It's actually a little bit more tame. He's still up to 2.5 seconds, which is a lot for him. But I actually think that there is some beef going on in the back of the field right now. The 48 of Tyler Hunter and the 01 of Matthew Boston Wheeler. These guys are really aggressive right here. I think that 48 has hit the back bumper of Boston Wheeler a couple times now.
And you can see it's all happening in this group that is really all on top of each other. And here's Jacob Simpson in the 2 car as well. You can see on the high side here, around the outside, 57 stuck on the inside. It's Cameron Stone with Tyler Hunter going right round the outside. And it looks like Wheeler has just gotten away from it as a result of all of this. Hunter still on the high side here in those 2 cars that look very, very similar. And the 2 car even grabbed the wall off of 4 there.
Luckily for him, these cars are indeed tanks. They can hit the wall as hard as they want. And it seems like, pardon me, on the exit of the corners, it's very hard to actually cause any real damage unless you absolutely hammer it. But these slight rubs on the walls aren't really going to do you in. It's just, just like Tyler Hunter there, he got into the wall just there. You saw that on your screen, but he's able to keep the car going. iRacing really is forgiving compared to the real life cars. You could hit the wall and you can get away with it in the sim way more than you can in real life. But I mean, Tyler Hunter actually looks like he is going the wrong direction. He's on the top trying to hold off Cameron Stone, but that 48 just having some struggles here today.
He was rubbing the fence on the way towards 1 there. I think he wants to get in line, and so he's going to let that position go for Stone, and he's going to make sure he gets in front of Simpson. Having said that, he's still running up high. Maybe that's to take the line away from Simpson there and maybe angle off the corner, diamond off the corner a little bit, road course style, as Simpson now looks to, no, not the inside. He knows, though, that Hunter's going to be entering a little bit higher. That time round didn't, actually. Simpson left up there on his own as Gitter gets to the inside. 21 car coming back through.
I think they're having struggles getting through this field. I mean, it's so hard to pass with the dirty air that, I mean, he was a top 3 car, that 21 car. He is still out in 20th. I mean, he hasn't made much ground up at all. And that might be due to the fact that he's got to go through this giant package. They're going to be 3 wide into turn number 3. The 2-car Simpson dives it in deep and slides it up, trying to make it work. It looks like Tyler Hunter got the advantage out of that, but Dylan, the 2-car here, I mean, Jacob, I should say, is just really pushing it on that 48 car, Tyler Hunter there, and they're still side by side heading into 3.
Yeah, that's I think the first time we've seen 3 wide tonight outside of one of these restarts in sort of open play, as it were. We've seen 3 wide for the very first time, but amazing that they didn't have a crash, especially with Simpson going so deep into turn 3. I think he missed his turning point completely, missed the spot he wanted to aim for, down on the low side there completely, and very nearly ran up into the 2 on the outside of him. Gitter just wants these 2 to sort it out so he can get through on both because he's clearly quicker.
That was evident in the first stage, and now he's able to get by Tyler Hunter. Now he's got one more to go before a little bit of clean air for him. But something is starting to develop in our top three. Jonathan Delaney, Paul Hill, and Adam Benefiel have all really convulged on each other here. You got the 26 of Paul Hill looking on the back bumper of that 6 car, and I think he wants it. He's starting to dive it in. He's getting closer and closer every lap, and I think that Paul Hill has a little better long-run car. Delaney is slightly loose on the exit of turn 2. It's been visually there the last handful of laps. I think that 6 car is fighting a little bit of a loose condition, same as Paul Hill, but especially off turn 2 for Delaney.
Yeah, I agree. I think Hill's looking good on a long run, and you've got to remember about Benefiel as well, who was better, I think, than anyone on the long run last time, just didn't really have the track position. And as we've talked about many times already tonight, track position is hard to get, and it's hard to take off somebody else as well. It's hard to pass around Richmond tonight, and it is tonight now. We've officially got the floodlights on. It's officially night time. One more thing, by the way, as well. The stage over 100 laps away. I wonder how many pieces the guys are going to split this stage into, because this is not going to be a stage where they run all the way through, I don't think, without making a green flag stop. If there's a caution at a relevant time, everyone will be in. Everybody knows that. But what about green flag pit stops here? How early are they going to decide to do this? If you want to split this into 3 and make 2 green flag pit stops in this stage, then you might. The first third is coming up towards now. We're nearly 50 laps into this. This run is supposed to be 160 laps. That'll be about 53 if you divided it into 3. So if anybody wants to be ultra aggressive and make a couple of green flag stops in this stage, which would be unusual but not impossible, then it would have to happen soon.
Yeah, I'm looking here at the numbers here with the stints. 49 laps in the stint so far. I mean, from what I heard in terms of fuel mileage, they can make it about 124 laps on a single tank of gas. And with that in mind, they have about 75, 74 laps left worth of gas in their tank, with the exception, of course, of those that pitted at the stage and saved some gas under those cautions that we had at the beginning here at the second stage. That should be able to push it a little further than 124, maybe even the 130. But I'd say with that in mind, you could probably see them come down within the next 73 to 80 laps within that range. At least for gas. But the story's really about tire. If your tire can last longer than that, then you choose to come down sooner. But if your tire can't make it that far, then you're going to choose to come down sooner. But these 3 really are on top of each other. They have now created their own pack. Galata's just 3 seconds out and above without any care in the world right now.
It's just absolutely cruising. If I was him, I'd be making just the one stop throughout this run, and making it at halfway without any worries about what's going on behind me at all. He can purely relax right now. These guys can't relax, and this is where almost a sort of European road course racing style might come into this race. Will Hill and Benefiel decide at some point, well, we're stuck behind Delaney, let's try and pit and get ahead of him, which is normally what you see in sort of road course racing, sort of almost Formula One style racing. You see that strategy employed a lot. Are we going to see that here at Richmond tonight with the overtaking difficulty we're seeing here? The 6 car holding that second place well, even though he's not as quick as the 2 behind him.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that's going to be a choice they're going to have to make. But then again, you got to be thinking about the pit cycles, and is it really worth it? You got Hastings now on the top side fighting with the 20 car of Devin Medeiros here now for the 11th place spot. They make contact down the back straightaway. I mean, this is a really tight battle. That 20 car is really wanting to get by the 81. On the exit of turn number 4 right now, looks like Matthew Long's actually going to be able to try and capitalize on Medeiros not able to make the pass on the 81. He's trying to top. And Hastings cuts off the air off the front bumper of the 20. It's going to push him a little tighter, and that's going to have him to lift. And so Matthew Long's going to get by. But if your driver's like Delaney and Benefiel, and you know you can't get by the... if you're... we just actually had a pass here. That's why it looks like that. 26 got by the 6 car.
Yeah, and it looked like it didn't take very long either, because the side-by-side wasn't actually very long. And now watch Hill break away. Look at the lengths that are already being opened up. There's one length. Won't be long until there's 2, then 3, then 4. It's going to be pretty quick for Hill. Look at those lap times as well. They are running the pace of Galata. At least Hill is when he gets into that free air, as he is now.
It's his only chance. He's going to have to find a way to get a better restart here on these restarts. At 26, when he starts up on the outside there for the second place position, he just wasn't able to keep up, and he lost the second place spot to Delaney. And from there on, Hill's just been trying to recover, and he finally did up to second, but it took a long time. And that lap was nearly identical for our top two, within 1/1000th of a second. So they are running like identical lap times right now.
Yeah, pretty much. And another pretty much identical lap time from Gallotta. He was only about a thousandth or two slower than his previous one. That's consistency for you. But Hill did go a little bit quicker. And that consistency is going to be difficult to manage now as they get into proper traffic again. Still 26 on the lead lap, but Lucas Hoytsma is very close to going a lap down in 97.
Yeah, a lot of damage on the right front for that 97. He still has a lot of damage there, and he's the last car on the lead lap, and he does not want to go a lap down. He's going to try and fight to stay on the lead lap as much as possible along with the 8 car, who's already a lap down up ahead of him. But if they both go a lap down here, that's going to be hard for them to recover. They normally have a lot of speed, so it's unusual to see them in this particular position, but damage will definitely do that to you. Put you in a position where you have to drive differently and plan differently. And so now he's under serious pressure, and I think that he might not last very long, as the 97 is going to do everything he can, but he couldn't hold the bottom. He has to get up and out of the way. 99 is going to put him a lap down.
Gallotta said, I'm coming through here, whether you like it or not, and he did. So gets to the rear bumper and gets through. Puts another driver 1 lap down. 25 now left on the lead lap. There's a number of drivers now multiple laps down actually as well. Kleinman, Llewellyn, Hodgson and Justin Hall all a couple of laps down now, and with a very long road back to the lead lap for them. Don't forget, there will be a lot of wounded cars after those 2 restart crashes we saw in the at the start of stage 2.
I think that 20 car is what we're looking on at right now on screen. He's under fire here from Cameron Stone in the 57. He's been making his way forward, but that 20 car has just been really aggressively driving his car, getting really tight on the exit of the corners, getting up into the outside wall. But 20's hanging on, and but that 57 has been marching towards the front every single time. He's just not able to get the pass done on the 20 car, not enough drive off.
Not for the... Oh, goodness me, look at the movers and shakers there, by the way. So many... Oh, and in the fence! In the fence pretty hard there in the background. Now, which car was that?
That was Medeiros.
Medeiros, yeah, absolutely right. Just finding the fence out of 2, and that was a pretty sizable whack as well, so he's going to lose more places. It's that freight train again that's coming down the inside. When you get stuck up there, it can be very difficult to stop. Now he will be able to get into line.
Yeah, that 20 car, like I said, I thought he was driving it really aggressively into the corners and on the exits, and bit him that time. Unfortunately for the 20 car, lost a handful of spots almost outside of the top 15. As he's trying to make a pass down to the bottom of Stephen Williams, not able to get the job done. Stephen's going to be able to hang on to the spot. Is behind them, Patrick Gitter. Remember last we checked in on him, he was back in 20th. He's up only 4 spots since the restart, and he's just not able to make passes here. He's just not able to get through the field.
Again, hard to pass tonight at Richmond, and that's why I'm a bit surprised we've not seen anybody in yet. I do understand there's a long way to go in this second stage, but there'll be a lot of guys who are stuck where they are in the field, going nowhere, making no progress, with no prospect of making any progress in the next 10 laps, and think, why not just give it a go and come into pit lane early? I know they've got a restriction on tyre set, and you don't want to be caught a lap down, because you will lose laps pitting here, but nobody's trying it for the moment, especially for those guys who are just here to win it or bin it, if you like. Side by side for for 7th place, Hoffman and Murray. So that's Hoffman in 92 getting up to 7th there.
Hoffman, yep, that's definitely Hoffman. He was able to get by Alex Murray up to 7th for that 92. What I've noticed out of the 92 from the first run is he was fast out of the gate. After about 10 laps, he had a lot of speed. But from lap like 25 on, I guess from the middle part of the run to 3/4 later in the run, he kind of started falling off. And on the last quarter, he just fell off a whole bunch. So I think long run is going to be a difficulty for the 92. But right now, he has a lot of speed. We'll see if he's made the adjustments to make that car continue to be that way throughout the run. But the first time we saw this, he made it all the way up to second and then just started losing spots left and right until he was outside, nearly outside the top 10. So 92 sitting right now in 7th, trying to catch up to the back bumper of Alex Coffey, right in front of that lap car right there of Llewellyn. But take a look here at that 41 of Dyson. He's had 5 wins this year. Absolute stunner when it comes to road courses. Almost you could always bet on him to win at the road courses. Last week we saw him win at Watkins Glen. It was something phenomenal to watch. He's just a class of the field, able to do it week in and week out. He's what I like to call the full-length Cup Challenge version of Shane Van Gisbergen. He can just win any road course you throw at him against these guys.
No disrespect to SVG, but it looks like Dyson's a bit better on ovals. I must.
That's right.
I must say. I do like him, but Dyson does look a little bit better on these ovals. He's proving that tonight. And by the way, in terms of regular season points, because there's a lot of playoff points riding on that overall regular season point standings. Only 21 ahead of Matt Ticiani and 24 ahead of Jonathan Delaney going into tonight. There's the playoff standings. You can see some of those guys up towards the front who are those who have won races, Dyson and Delaney especially, but the fact that Ticiani's up there without having won a race is pretty remarkable in itself. Those guys are going to be fighting over those points, of course, because there's 15 playoff points for the regular season champion.
Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely right. And he wants to get that extra bonus there. It's going to make his championship run even better. And remember, he doesn't just win on road courses. He won at Nashville on a fuel strategy that was just 10 times better than everybody else's. It worked out for him. So he didn't have the fastest car that day, but he was able to take the win due to the strategy. So he's really smart in how to do it too. And it's always entertaining to watch Dyson. And when we talk to him after the races, he is so chill about it. But right now you see the 29 on your screen, the 29 of Tanner Marty. I am really surprised by his year. It has been kind of topsy-turvy for that 29 car. He's trying to get to the inside of Matthew Boston Wheeler right now. These guys have had really on and off. Like some weekends it would be really good, top 10 here, but others it would just be get involved in an accident, finish back to 20s, something like that for both of these guys. But just here tonight doing what they're doing outside of the top 20 again, and they need to have some sort of change, something to make them caution on the back straightaway. Devin Medeiros sitting sideways in the middle of the back straightaway. We are going to be under caution for I believe the 4th time tonight. We had 2 cautions right at the beginning of this stage for accidents, and then our stage, so this will be our 4th caution. And Medeiros on the back straightaway, something must have happened to him.
And this is exactly why you ignore me and don't come in early. You would have been trapped a couple of laps down if you'd have been following my strategy. So this is why they all stay out a little bit longer. Simpson in the 2 car, very close behind Medeiros and touches him twice. First bit was harmless. He tries to save it and then it snaps back the other way in the 20 car. And so caution flag waves. Just a little bit of contact coming off of the corner that was the problem there. Just unsettled car 20 and it went around.
Props to the 20 car for not hitting the wall. I mean, he did the right thing saving the race car. 2 car just dumped him. You can see it here in the corner. I was right on board. Here's the 20's view. He goes into the corner, a little higher entry, but Simpson hits him once, hits him twice, and there around he goes. Right in front of the league's owner right there in the 5 car, barely avoiding the spinning 20. That will bring out the caution. And also, I think everybody's going to come down to get gas and tires, and then they'll be able to make it to the end of the run.
They will. Only 80 laps away, less than 80 laps away from this stage, so they'll absolutely make it, and they'll do it having only made 2 pit stops so far and 2 tyre changes, which is absolutely positive for those looking to save tyres and use them towards the end. Here's the race off pit lane. The Lotta gets there just about.
I gotta tell you now, this is gonna change a lot. We're gonna see where everybody stacks up here in a second. And then we're going to go back underway again here, most likely on lap 55, I think, is when we'll probably go back green, maybe 56. But yeah, one thing I've noticed is that you really don't want to lose the track position. Pitting under caution like this is going to be different. You really want to try and keep the car like up in the front so you have clean air. And why don't we talk to someone who's currently up in the front? Why not our leader, the 98? What do you think?
The
99. Yeah, sure. Let's see if we can't pull him up here. Hang on a second. All right. Let's see if I can't put him up here in the infield care center. Then we'll drag him up. All right. Joseph Galata, this is Kirk Mills in the booth. You got a copy?
What's up?
Hey, man, tell you what, you are the class of the field today. 3 seconds faster than anybody else and their mothers. Got to ask you, Joseph, how's it feel being out there on a Sunday drive?
Just that, Sunday drive. Pretty good. Calm.
All right, man. Well, you think you're going to be able to hang out up front and be able to hang on to this win and probably get one today?
If it could stay green and it doesn't become a tire lottery and such like that, I think so. I mean, the car feels good. It's basically my Iowa car brought over to here, so.
Well, we know that Iowa had a lot of speed in that thing, so we're going to wish you the best of luck. Go out there and do well, okay?
You got it, bud. Thank you so much.
Yep, you got it. We'll get you back to your team. That was Joseph Galata. And I got to tell you, he's got a lot more speed than anybody else right now. We've seen that on the restarts. Let's see if anybody made pit road adjustments to try and compete with him. Green flag's back out, and we're back underway here from Richmond.
A good restart, and another car length opened up. Can either Delaney or Hill stay with him? It's Delaney's turn to give this a go. It looks like 6 car down low, third on the restart, immediately ahead of Hill, who's going to be sick of getting stuck in traffic on these restarts.
Can't seem to get second place when you're on the top line. It's so hard to hang on to it. It's almost a practical starting third, even though on paper you're starting second. Some cars trying to make 3 wide moves. You see Dyson right there in the 41 trying to make the high side work. Hoffman there on the inside have not won yet this year, that 92, but he's still pretty good in terms of the point standings. We're pretty sure he'll be able to make it to the next round, but not necessarily locked in, but definitely in a good position for the 92 of Hoffman.
Pretty sure he will be there. He's 4th place overall in the point standings, by the way. 6 top 5s, 9 top 10s in just 22 appearances this season. Has run rather well, so he's in there at the moment, side by side in this group for just about the bottom end of the top 5. Hoffman on the low side, looking to get past Coffey in towards turn 1, and Coffey getting the hurry up there from 62. Pearson just in behind.
Once Pearson was able to get to the top 10, he's able to compete and stay there. We've seen that since the restart. Coffey, though, on the top side, kind of being the guy trying to lead the way here on the top line, as Neil actually decides, no, I'm going to the super top. I'm going to try and get by way higher. That time, Coffey's able to make the pass there on Hoffman, and Neil's going to follow him through into turn 3. They will be clear. Now, throughout this field, what I'm seeing is this huge hornet's nest building up right now towards 15th spot. You kind of got this long line of cars with nowhere to go. You kind of stuck in line, and with fresh tires, plenty of gas, I mean, you're going to be this way until the tires start wearing out differently based on your driving style, and then we'll start seeing some more separation build up.
Yeah, this is going to be basically like the run we saw in stage 1, just over 70 laps on this occasion to the next stage. But if this goes green the whole way, it's going to feel like a very, very similar run. The only driver who stayed out under the last caution, by the way, was Chris Davis, who's now just 1 lap down rather than 2 down, and he got the wave around as a result of that. Very smart, actually, from the driver of 74, as long as there's a caution in the next 40 laps. If there isn't, he'll have to stop under green.
Yeah, he's going to be betting on that caution to try and stay in a good position so he can get tires and maintain with the speed of everybody else. But right here, you see Tyler Hunter on the bottom. You got Patrick Gitter on the top. This is for position. Gitter's trying to make that top line rotate a little bit better. And he's running 17th, 18th right here, 17th, 16th. And with that in mind, they got a ways to go to get back up to the front, but 21 has been slowly but surely making his way towards the front. He's just kind of stalled out there in 16th or 15th.
Yeah, it's so difficult to pass here, as we've talked about, but he's doing a good job of trying at the moment. That was close. 2 car coming up there very much late on. He was only just clear. Gitter again going to try and get to the high side here, and look at the way he just drives around him through 1 and 2.
Yeah, we saw the 2-car. Remember, he made contact with Devin Medeiros to bring out that last caution, hitting him on the rear bumper on entry. So he definitely has a way of diving it in deep, but the 21 was able to go in deeper to be able to make the corner stick for him and get on by. And now he has his sights set on Brandon Hastings in that 81 car, moving forward that way. And, you know, something that's on my mind here is a driver that's doing really well tonight, actually. Sitting 13th right now, Stephen Williams in the 98 car. We haven't talked about him much today, but Stephen Williams has kind of had a really topsy-turvy race. We saw him in practice running fast lap times compared to the others on the track. Had a fast car, I think, and this is actually a great racetrack for him compared to some of the other tracks this season. Definitely someone to watch today, to be a little surprising as we go to the end of this race. But right now we just completed lap number 168. We're on lap 168, about to complete it out of 400. We got a long way to go. Not quite to halfway, but we're getting there. And that 98's in a good spot.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking good so far. A couple of stops have come in at the back end of the field, by the way. Chad Sanner back out after 6 minutes of repairs under green, 16 laps down, and Chris Davis has had to come in and make that stop already. So he'll be coming out right in amongst these guys, actually, on slightly fresher tyres.
Wasn't able to get the caution he was looking for, unfortunately for him. So they are... Oh, that 20 car hits the wall again. I swear, him and his best friend is the wall. That 20 car on the exit of the corners just keeps hitting it as a way to... I think he's just pulling tight on the exits of the corners for the 20 car as of late. I do got to mention, though, it's a lot of fun to watch these guys here, because we're looking at Billy Brickley right here driving for Ryko. He's been a driver that's really been... interesting to watch. I've always liked watching Billy Brickley. I always kind of root for him secretly. I kind of like him that much, not so secretly anymore. But 44 is just someone who's a really nice, interesting character, and kind of an underdog too. You don't expect him to do too well, but right now he's under fire from the 5 car Bobby Anderson. And this is for position. Again, this is just outside the top 20. These guys got a long way to go to be able to get back up to the front. But up front, there just isn't that much battling going on. Everyone is really separated out, with the exception of a battle between Coffey and Pearson right now. That is the closest battle I see up front. Take a look at the 62 of Pearson up front. These guys have really started to condense on each other. This entire 5 car group has really just kind of accordion together.
Yeah, and it goes a long way back for the bottom half of the stage points that will be awarded in just less than 60 laps time here from Richmond at the end of stage 2. So that'll be a big one to watch here. There is the line. Look at that. One long line. When does it end? All the way down the field. There'll be some lap cars involved there as well, but there's no gap more than 1 second from that 6th place right the way down to 25th, the last car on the lead lap.
You know, I'm thinking about this. Let's think about strategies here right now. They don't have to come down pit road again for the rest of the run. I mean, I don't think that very many people are going to be trying to actually save anything. They got to get to lap 230, as we've already discussed. And it's only lap 175. They got plenty of time to go to be able to get to that point. But in terms of how hard you push, if you're Galata, you're just going to ride around and make sure that nobody can catch it. He's still running a 10th faster a lap than those cars around him. However, I will say this, Jonathan Delaney has been gaining ground slightly on Galata, to the point, at least maintaining the gap to where he's ahead by only 2.1 seconds. And I say only just because we've seen him pull away to 10+ second leads over everybody else over the course of a full run, and 4 or 5 seconds easily within just a handful of laps. So Galata starting to even off, I think, here with Delaney. We'll see how long that's able to continue.
Yeah, and I think that is a positive sign for the rest of the field, that they are getting closer to Galata. Admittedly, he's still got a 2-second lead, and he's still getting out to a rather large lead every time we're on one of these short restarts. But the longer the run goes on, the more even the pace comes. And earlier in the stint as well now, it's starting to get more even between Galata and the rest of the field. This is only after, 25 laps or so this time round, 20 laps, when they started to match his lap times. That wasn't seen before, and the gap is certainly smaller than before. So if they can continue to get better, continue to get closer to Galota, by the end of the day, they might be able to run with him and challenge him for the win by lap 400, which is, of course, the part that matters.
You know, I'm starting to notice a driver running faster lap times than the leader again that we saw just really good on the long run. Adam Benefield, that time by 21.9 compared to the leader's 22 flats. I mean, Benefield on the 83 is moving up, but we're looking right now at the 73 of Evan Mesnard on your screen. These guys, again, are outside the top 20, but you can see this long line. Nobody's really separating from each other except for, I guess, it all starts right from 7th place on back. It just seems to be separated by that amount. And back here in that, where the 73 is running, you kind of can't go anywhere. It's just a lot of dirty air there.
Yeah, there is. There's a look down the inside and nearly contact with car 01 just in front of us. Mesnard looking at the inside of Wheeler. He didn't use the bumper there too much to pass. We haven't seen too much of that so far tonight, actually, but as the night wears on, we're certainly going to see the bumpers used and the drivers' tempers start to get frayed a little bit.
Wouldn't expect anything less. I mean, the 73, he's really trying to get by Matthew Boston Wheeler, but I like to compare Matthew Boston Wheeler to a driver that used to run Cup Series a handful of years ago. I like to compare him to Brian Vickers a little bit because it's really hard to pass him, and sometimes he's able to get mad. And oh yeah, that time he got loose trying to hang on to the race car. 73 is going to try to top. They're even in the corner. I think that's going to make it work for the 73 of Mesnard. Up ahead of him, Tyler Hunter loses it in the grass, and more contact. The 20 car makes it a contact with another car. That 01 of Boston Wheeler barely, almost hanging on to the race car. Holy cow.
Big save. Only just kept it out the grass as well. Hunter there. That was a big save. Let's see it again from Hunter. You can see the battle behind that was going on. That was all great entertainment, but Hunter was completely on his own. Gets on the gas too heavily out of 4, and a big save. Did run through the grass for a little while.
But these guys had an incident as well, the 20 car Medeiros. It's not over. Yeah, the 01 of Boston Wheeler just spun Medeiros off of turn number 4, and they are crashing in front of Tanner Marty and a few more cars. Hard contact for the 08, and a few more cars collect damage. Cautions out on the racetrack. Boston Wheeler absolutely turned that 20 car around.
I said the bumpers hadn't been used too much tonight. It seems to have induced a bit of action here in this group. You can already see in the body language, these guys were not happy with each other, and they eventually were going to come to blows. 01 gets straight to the side of the 20, who goes around again, hit once, going to be hit another couple of times, bang, there's another bang, bang, another couple, spin round in avoidance.
And I'd like to see that incident a couple laps earlier to what sparked this. Did the 20 and the 01 make contact a couple laps sooner? I think so. Like, it was right whenever the 48 nearly spun on the front straightaway. I mean, this is a bad little section for the Lunar Esports team. A lot of cars were involved in that accident from that same team. Let's take a look at the onboard from Chad Center at 34th. Behind all this, these are the cars that were coming up on the accident as he was spinning out of turn number 4. And where does he go? Goes to the top, barely misses it. Had to find a hole to get through as everybody comes down to get tires. But let's see if we can't take a look and see what happened a couple laps ago with the 20 car Medeiros when he was coming across the start-finish line with the 01. It was on lap 184, at least coming to lap 184, so 183 turn 4. If we can't get a replay of that with Matthew Boston Wheeler, just to see if there was any contact between the two.
Sorry, 2 tyre stops happening in live pictures, by the way. Delaney and Hoffman are out first and second. Sean O'Brien Jr. has also gone for 2 tyres, as has Patrick Gidder, which is no surprise really considering the trouble he was having in traffic. He's gone for a 2-tyre change. Lots of guys 1 lap down have gone for the wave around. So Hodgson, Hall, Owens, Llewellyn will all go from 2 laps down to 1 down, and they will make it to the stage. Don't forget, they have got the fuel to do it.
So here we go. This is what happened a few laps prior to the incident. This is what sparked this whole thing. You see the 20 car on the back bumper, the 01. What's going to happen is I think 20's going to have a run here. He's going to go to the top. This is about a lap prior, so we need another lap forward. we're going to get there and we'll be able to see how this all sparked it. You see the 5-car Bobby Anderson get through. 20 tries to follow him through. They make contact down the back straightaway. That's what started this whole thing. Then the 20 car is trying to hold on to the top. The 1 car gets into him and spins him out. That was actually the second one. So I think it's 2 laps prior. Again, lap 183 into 184 is when it happened. But the 20 car turned the 01 into the outside wall when they were trying to avoid the spinning car of Tyler Hunter. And so there's a lot of beef going on between the 20 and the 01 right now.
There absolutely is. You can see that in the body language of the cars when we joined them for that replay. You could just see that they'd had previous and they were not happy with each other. They'll certainly not be pleased with each other now, and let's hope they don't get back together on the racetrack again, because they'll take each other out, I would say. But lap 190 about to be complete, 40 to go until the end of stage 2, and we've got a different look to the front of the field for the first time tonight.
This is going to be everything. The 6 car in the 92 took 2 tires. We're able to get in front of Galata. Will Galata handle the same in dirty air? That's what the question is. Let's take a look.
Oh, he's immediately got into second ahead of Hoffman, who didn't get away at all well off the restart. So Galata to second, Delaney leads.
Still too wide throughout most of the field as Galata arcs it in high, and he's going to get a good run on the front straightaway. They're still too wide throughout this field, and I think that Delaney now has just got to play defense. He cannot let Galata get by him, not at all. And right now he's pushing hard, as it looks like Neil Pearson is off the pace on the inside of the racetrack, losing several spots. 3 wide in the middle of turns 3 and 4, and it looks like they're still that way, exiting the corner as well.
Yeah, this is where the traffic comes into it. Look at Pearson in the middle, 3 wide, 28 on the very outside. That's long, going the long way round through 1 and 2, but it finally gets back to double file, as it is for 4th place. Gitter on those 2 tyres, so is O'Brien. They're effectively holding back the rest of the field, who are on 4 tyres behind them.
Oh, battle for the lead. Up front, here goes Galata on the outside of Delaney. They are side by side coming up on lap traffic of Boston Wheeler. He had to pit, came out a little later. That time, it looks like Galata's got the run, and I think Galata's going to get Delaney, and that's just how fast he was able to get back up to the front. That car is just so much faster.
Yeah, it is, and it's going to run away now by a long shot because it's got fresher tyres, and of course those on 2 behind are effectively doing the job of defending for him. Dyson leading the charge of those on 4 tyres behind. He passes O'Brien on the back straight, and now Sean O'Brien Jr. going to be in big trouble here. He's going to drop outside the top 10, I think, after this restart and after these few moments, because yeah, he is on 2 tyres, as I say, in amongst a load of drivers on 4.
Yeah, but again, he's 93 points to the good. But he's trying to be protective of his run for the championship, because if we actually look, say we have somebody who hasn't won yet this season come up and win, then he's out. He needs to gain every point he can, and at that point it almost becomes a must-win situation. So he really hopes that nobody who hasn't won yet this season gets a win, who's playoff eligible. But right now he's the last car to get in if that were to be the case. Patrick Gitter and Dyson are battling. You're on board right now with Dyson on the rear bumper there. But that 41's trying to get around the 21 car on older tires.
Let's see, into 3 and 4 again. 41 now with the pleasure of experiencing what Gitter's been experiencing for a lot of this race so far. Stuck in traffic, even on these 4 tyres, but I think the 2 tyres have shown up well so far, and maybe as an option later on in the race if we get a late caution, latest caution at the end. 2 tyres have been shown that they are a decent option.
2 tires is not a bad choice right here. I don't see that being a problem. I think that that's going to be a benefit. However, you can only do it for a handful of laps. Galata was able to get by after 2 or 3 seconds there, as we just crossed the halfway mark in this race. We are halfway through to this point, and it's only a matter of time before we get to the end of this race. But through this first half, Galata's just dominating.
Yeah, he absolutely has. I wondered whether we'd get to a stage where we're getting towards the end and still he's the only one who's led laps. But that's not the case now after these 2 tyre stops and everything that's happened on this restart. So Gallotta not leading every lap in this race, but might as well have done. Is absolutely dominated, and he's going to win stage 2, barring incident and accident.
Yeah, we're not even. It's not even a question anymore. With Delaney having 2 tires, it's going to be a lot harder for him to get on by. That's to say the least. But take a look right here. That 41 has been battling Gitter for so long. They let Adam Benefield catch up to the back bumper, and now they're trying to compete and get through as well.
Absolutely. This is the 4-tire charge being halted by those on 2 tires, as they have absolutely got a right to do. Fighting to stay in the top 10, but Gitter without a great run-off of 2 this time. Surely Dyson's going to get clear, and Benefield will try and do the same as well. He actually looks down low on Dyson. The 4-tire runners now will go side by side across the line.
Benefield doing what he's doing best all season. He can qualify anywhere in this field and find his way to the front. We saw him win a race after starting dead last. I mean, that 83 is just that much faster on the long runs and being able to get through the field. I think he just likes driving through it, to be honest with you. But now that he's up here, he's got a lot more difficult competition, battling with the points leader right now. I think he's might be able to get the win off of that, but it might take him a little bit more practice as the 41 gets into the wall that time.
Yeah, little kiss on the wall, and that's going to allow Benefield through, and maybe Hill as well. But Hill spent a lot of this race in traffic as well, and can't quite get through on the inside, so they finally get single file. But these 4-tire changes are not seeming to have the effect that I thought they would, I must admit.
Yeah, absolutely. You wouldn't expect it at all. 2 tires to be able to last as long as he has, but, I mean, it's only going to get exponentially worse throughout the rest of the run. 2 tires is great for the first handful of laps, but the moment that you start pushing a little harder and the tires get heated up, you're going to start seeing the car start losing some speed, and they will back off, I think, over the course of some time. So not sure when that will be, but the battle I'm looking at right now looks like it's going to be Paul Hill and Dyson. These guys have just been on it this entire time. Paul Hill trying to make a move down to the inside of Dyson. This is for 5th place, or a top 5 finishing position in the stage if Hill's able to make the pass.
Still side by side. It looks like Hill's got the momentum with him at the moment, compared to Dyson, who on this restart has just not quite been as punchy as maybe he needs to be. He's got a solid top 5 car, Dyson, but I'm not sure he can challenge Gallotta or any of the others for these top 3 or even the win here tonight. Looks like it's going to be the likes of Delaney and Hill to sort of challenge Gallotta more than anyone else. Maybe Benefield as well in 83. He's looking pretty strong. But still side by side. Dyson struggling to shake Hill off at the moment, and it looks like Hill's finally going to get it through here.
Not quite. He tried to slide up in front of him. Not enough room to do so. They got a lap car climbing. They're about to catch up to the back bumper of here in just a moment. And William Owens there in the 30 as well. So they're going to be coming up on lap traffic already. We're going to be having that within 20, 30 laps of the restart that's expected. But that's going to slow up the 41 there. Slight contact with him and Owens. Lost him a little bit of momentum. But what I'm looking at now is this second place spot. Delaney and Hoffman, they are, Hoffman's been gaining on Delaney lap in and lap out, almost to the point where I think they were on the back bumper when they caught the lap cars. But that 92 is showing that he's had some speed on the short run and it's working out for him. Caution's been coming out, able to use that short run speed. It's contact in the back. Oh. Lap cars, Cameron Stone hard into the wall, collects 21 of Patrick Gitter, and that will bring out yet another caution on the back straightaway. Oh, man, Cameron Stone heavy right front damage.
And Gitter was the highest profile name, I think, of those who have run in the top 10 so far tonight, involved in that first caution of this second half of the race. It was 4 wide for a brief moment there. And some of these lap cars are really old tyres. Oh, that's 54 trying to squeeze its nose into a impossibly small gap. And it's Coffey there. Shouldn't have really tried to force that 3 wide, I don't think.
Well, the thing is that car on the outside was a lap car, so he kind of had nowhere to go. However, you saw the 57. I think the 57 was trying to use that lap car as a pick. And something that I know is that 57, after getting to know him a little bit, likes using picks as much as possible. It worked for the 21 car, and this time the 54 is like, nope, I won't let you do that to me. and that's where the damage comes in. But Coffee was just kind of squeezed there after deciding, nope, I'm not going to slow down for this lapper. So let's ride on board with him. I think that's going to be a good thing for us to see exactly how this may have worked. If you're driving this car, picture it right now. You're behind the wheel and you're trying to, you know, get on by these guys. Gitter here. You know these two are lap cars. Oh, Gitter gets held up and Gitter does a smart thing backing out of it. But right here, I mean, that was never going to be an option. But damage sent on down the running order. I think the 21 got maybe some of the worst of it with the 57.
Yeah, I think the 21 certainly got some of the worst of that. It was a big hit, but doesn't seem to have had too much of an effect. Let's actually see the onboard hit. As you say, 21 can see this happening up ahead, and I think not necessarily by design, but just ends up backing out of it all here, gets stuck behind that lap car and thinks, well, go on by then if you must. But yeah, battle in front, there's the hit, and then it's this second one, bang, there on the front right. That's going to have done the big damage.
Yeah, it killed his right front tire, and because of that, he's actually left the race. So he is no longer competing, it looks like. So the 21 car has retired from the race. He saw that he was involved in the big wreck at the beginning. He got loose on his own and that huge crash, and then this time, just an innocent bystander on this occasion. But that will put him in a rough spot, as it looks like we might be able to get another restart down here at Richmond. Beautiful racetrack. I gotta say, some of the light glitches that occur on the racetrack, I'm sure that will be, you know, that's stuff that iRacing is going to work on over the course of time. But for now, I mean, it's still a beautiful looking racetrack.
Yeah, and a great place to go racing as well, under the lights. Started just in the sort of late evening time, properly in the night time now. Track temperature down 5 degrees Fahrenheit since the start, 79 now on the racetrack, which is nice weather conditions for this restart. 14 to go in stage 2 as we go back green flag racing. See whether Gallotta can hold on to this second stage win of the night.
Oh, you know everybody's going to be pushing hard here. Watch the wheel spin. We're back underway. And it looks like that inside line got a great jump, but the outside was able to hang on to it this time round. Still side by side for second. This is the first time all night we've seen a side by side battle for second.
It's between two who took 2 tyres at the previous caution. Delaney and Hoffman. Delaney on the outside in 6. He's going to get his nose in front. He's going to be clear, I think, by turn 1. Or not quite. 92 still alongside. Benefield and Hill really want them to sort this out as quickly as possible.
There's just nowhere for Benefield and Hill to go. They're kind of stuck behind these guys, but if they know what's good for them right here, Hoffman and Delaney, they'll just stay side by side, hold them up. Nobody can pass them. There's no real third lane that they can use to get by, so might as well just keep staying side by side. I mean, I think that's kind of a smart idea here.
And they've just got to wait for their lane to prevail effectively. Hope that their driver comes through. Delaney looks like he has, though. He's clearing to turn 3. And here comes Benefield now on the outside as a result. On the outside of Hoffman. And this is where the freight train starts to come in for these guys on 2 tyres. They'll be very thankful there's only 11 to go in this second stage.
Man, I love the intensity we're getting out of these drivers today. It's just a whole bunch of battling throughout the field. Right here, you got Hoffman on the bottom, Benefield on the top. We know Benefield has a lot of long run speed, but he's showing he can also compete on the short run. Same thing with Dyson and Hill. They're just being patient. 1 corner at a time. Those cars are known for being patient, but right here, Hoffman's just trying to hang on for everything he can. He doesn't want to lose that many spots and gain as many points as he can in the stage. As long as he holds on to where he's at, he might have a good chance of doing so, but any bobble, any mistake out of that 92 and back almost outside of the points, as it looks like Bobby Anderson is going to send it 3 wide on these guys, dives it in deep on Paul Hill and Dyson. No contact. This is phenomenal racing.
And that is the 5 car, the first to be on new tyres. He pitted under caution and he's trying to come through as quickly as possible. And those tyres are looking very good. Has he got the time in this stage to get towards the front? He's trying to force it 3 wide again, inside of Hoffman. Anderson with a great run on these new tyres now. This is really working. The 4 tyre change, and he's going to be in 4th place, 3rd place now. Benefield on the outside.
Shot out of a cannon, started 19th. He's already passing Benefield for 3rd. Now he's got to chase down Delaney. He's got a ways to go to get there. but the 5 car has speed, and I think there is a chance if he's able to continue this run, I think that he might even catch close to our leader. I don't know if he's going to get him, but he's got the speed to catch second, to say the least.
I think he's absolutely got the speed to get the leader. Last time round, half a second, very nearly. Here he goes for second. Anderson, easy as you like, takes second place. And he's got 6 laps, including the one they've just begun, to chase Gallotta for a surprise stage win in the 5 car.
We haven't seen this 5 car up front all year for one of these stage wins. I mean, this is the first time that he's actually has the speed to do it. And it's a matter of, can he do it? It's execution. Can he catch Gallotta? This is, again, the series owner. He owns this series. And if he's able to get this done, that would be something that would be memorable for every driver. Gallotta goes up out of the groove in the second lane. The 5 car's just gaining leaps and bounds on him. He's going to be there before the end of the stage.
Here he goes. Here he goes. Inside at turn 1 and 2. 3 to go at the line, but he doesn't need all 3 laps here. He's on the inside for the lead.
No way! Look at that 5 car! Diving in deep, he's able to catch the fastest car of the day on fresh tires, and he's gonna win a stage here, I think, if he's able to make the pass. Still side by side. This isn't over, to say the least, but the 5 car looks like he's got it. Up to the lead, Bobby Anderson, out of nowhere. That lovely looking Kellogg's car goes to the lead on fresh tires with just 2 laps to go when he crosses the stripe for the stage. What an absolute drive from the 5 car. That's phenomenal.
And just to give you an idea as to what the other guys who pitted, because there were plenty of them, Alex Coffey is the closest of them who's pitted. He's 16th. Anderson has made 15 more overtakes than anybody else on those new tyres. He has come through the field like we've never seen before tonight, showing it is possible to overtake at Richmond tonight if you've got those new tyres on, and he's going to win a stage here.
Oh, I'm so excited. Final 2 corners for the 5 car, Bobby Anderson. He restarted in 18th on that restart, and he comes off turn 4 in just a few laps to win stage 2. What an absolute drive by that 5 car, showing us that anything can happen. Holy cow, that was phenomenal.
Unbelievable. 19th in the point standings coming into today, by the way, at just 116 points below the cut line. With Sean O'Brien Jr. not scoring any points there, he'll be a little bit closer all over again. And if he can get a good run tonight, even a win tonight, he'll be in the playoffs. This is a big night for him and a big stage win for him as well.
All right, we're going to go ahead and go to a quick break. They're going to go down, take tires and gas, and we'll be back with you shortly to get 3rd stage underway here for the Full Length Cup Challenge on Maconi Entertainment. Stick around. We'll be right back.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Bring it.
After pit stops, tragedy at the front. The 5 car who just won the stage after a phenomenal 18th to 1st rally in the last 20 laps of the stage gets a speeding penalty and is forced to go to the back. Back up at the front, Galata is going to be leading us back underway with 166 laps to go. We are green, and we are going to the final here at Richmond. Here we go. This is our final run. No more planned cautions. It is from here to the end now.
Yep, only incident cautions to come over the course of the next 170 laps, or more accurately 165 now to go. Likely though, well, in fact, definitely one pit stop tonight. Are we going to see green flag pit stops across the board for the first time tonight? Is the run going to be long enough for that, or are we going to have another caution before that period?
Right now they're getting things settled in. It looks like at the front of the field, Alex Murray's the only one stuck on the outside with DeCiani there towards the front. And it looks like that he's going to be trying to find a hole in front of Dyson there, and he sure will. That leaves DeCiani stuck on the outside, battling for position with Dyson. That Ford car has been the image of consistency all year round. There's some contact in the back of the field. Some cars bobbing and weaving, but take a look at that 97 car. He was involved in that big one at the beginning of the run. He's hung out in the back of the field all day, and now he is closed into the top 10.
Absolutely. It's the point in the race where you want to be in the top 10, more so than in the first half of the race. So we'll be absolutely fine with that. But yeah, maybe slightly surprising not that Hoytsma hasn't particularly run towards this part of the field just yet until now. Side by side across the line. This is the highest position being battled over, by the way, at the moment. 9th place between Pearson and Hoytsma. Oh, spin!
Frankie. Oh, yeah, Stephen Williams goes around, sliding on the inside of the racetrack. Only a 2-car incident, I think. But everybody else able to avoid the spinning 98. And here we are with yet another caution. Let's take a look and see what may have caused that 98 to go for a spin.
Looked to me like it was just on the power on their own. But let's find out from the replay. Was there a bit of assistance here from... No, there was not. Just a single spin. Was that Hastings? Yeah, it was. Who got straight into the side of him.
Hastings, that wrong place for that. Just had nowhere to go. Car spinning right in front of you. I mean, what can you do? Contact on the front end of the 81. I'd like to see the onboard of the 81 after this here with Williams. Let's see it. There we go, Hastings. There we go. So he's riding on his own, no problem. You think everything's fine, and 98 goes for a spin, and like, what are you gonna do? He can't go high or low, but he got minimal damage for what that was, but still got some damage on the 81 car.
He has come in to pit lane, so clearly he does feel the need to repair a bit of damage. He's not gone up on the jacks, so he's not taking any tyres. He'll just take some repairs. Only the top 16 stay out under that caution. There's still 24 on the lead lap, so plenty who have decided to come down pit lane.
I mean, you got to try something. You're going to have to get onto a different cycle here. Remember, the cars can go about 124 green flag laps. So with that in mind, that's pushing full bore, no problems. You're just going to go all the way until lap 124, and then your car will run out of gas. But if you're saving gas, I mean, think about it. This is a short track. It's one of the easiest ones to save gas at. So with that in mind, I mean, you might lose some positions, but we got to start thinking strategy here. 158 laps to go. I think that like the fuel window really is going to start opening up here in about maybe 30 laps or so. I mean, you could stretch it out that far maybe, but it's still going to be exciting to see who decides to do that. With these guys up at the front, Delaney, Hoffman, we're going to see their long run speed to say the least. But I am most surprised out of all the cars in the top 10. Remember that one giant wreck at the beginning of the second stage that absolutely like flipped our entire field upside down? We got a driver who was a beneficiary of that wreck, Neil Pearson, who started 36th, still running in the top 10. I mean, what a phenomenal run for the 62.
There's most positions gained tonight, and Pearson, unsurprisingly, right at the top of it. Just shows that even though, you know, people say in these long races, whatever discipline of motorsport that it is, that the first few laps don't really matter. Tune in for the last 100, that's where it really matters, but it's not really true. Those guys at the back of the field working their way forward, such a crucial part of the story over the course of tonight. And Pearson's done that very, very well indeed. There's the track conditions continuing to decrease in track temperature, just coming up to 9:30 tonight.
Gonna get back underway. Galata, watch the jump. For the first time tonight, the outside line had the best jump I've seen it have all night. Delaney was able to keep up with Galata there. And Galata almost actually had someone catch up to the back bumper. That was Hoffman, almost got into the back bumper, Galata. But now that he's got a little bit of a gap, I think he's going to start stretching it as the rest of the field is 2 and 3 wide coming out of turn number 4 to complete lap 246. There we go.
And again, Benefield and Hill forced to battle with each other and others around them instead of trying to stay with Galata at the front of the field. These guys have not been the best on pit road so far today, and they've just not got themselves organised to get into that second place where they need to be to challenge the leader. But let's see how quickly Galata can actually get away from the rest of the field this time, whether Hoffman's going to be able to keep him in close.
We saw it earlier, Hoffman was able to have a lot of short run speed, but over the course of the long run, that didn't necessarily last too well. We'll see if they've made the adjustments on the car to make it work out for him now. He's up to second. He's about half a second back from the leader. This is the closest gap we've seen after a restart in a while. So with that in mind, I mean, I wouldn't count him out. He has yet to win this season. The 92 is desperate for a win. He's so close to winning so many times, just in the wrong position here and there, unable to get it done. But now he has a real chance to be getting his first win this season if he's able to do anything about catching Galata.
Absolutely, and don't forget the playoff points that come with that, the regular season points as well. It will get him maybe a little bit closer to a top 3 position, especially with Disiani not having quite as good of a day as what you see normally, although still running 8th. It would be absolutely massive, and this is by far the best attempt we've seen at staying with Galata. Still half a second after a good amount of time on this run now, getting towards 10 laps in this run, and he's still there or thereabouts.
I am actually very surprised by this gap. He's keeping it right at half a second, a different line. I'm seeing the 92 wrap the yellow a little bit more than we see Galata. Galata's running about half a lane up compared to where the 92 is, like inches off the yellow line. So with that in mind, is that going to help him rotate more? I think that would be the case, and it's also going to help his long run speed. But being able to keep the car underneath him is going to be the goal, considering how fast Galata is on long run. That last time by, it's still half a second.
Yeah, it's just holding. But if Hoffman can hold it at this margin for a number of laps without taking too much out of his tyres and still having the late run speed as well, then this could be good news for him, showing that he's got the short run car. But the problem for catching Galata is that he's very fast in the first 30 laps, almost way better than anybody else in the short run. But then he's also got that speed to at least continue and match the others in terms of long run speed, and that's what's been missing here. He's been having such a big advantage over the rest by the end of those first 30 laps, but that it doesn't really matter what his long run speed is because he's so far in front. If Hoffman can keep him in check through these first 30 and then stay with him, he is right in there with a chance of challenging Galata for the lead legitimately.
On equal tires, I think that this is going to be the best opportunity we've seen all day. I mean, he's still keeping it within half a second here and there. I mean, identical lap times. But I got to mention here, this battle for third behind these guys as well, we're taking a look at now on your screen, has just been getting closer and closer. And Paul tried to make a move on Delaney a few times, not able to get the job done that last time by. But, I mean, as long as he stays there and keeps putting pressure on Delaney, I think he's just trying to force him into a mistake. But that's difficult to see a driver who's raced in Coke make that many mistakes out there on a racetrack.
Yeah, absolutely. Hill gets close to Delaney into one and straight through. That's late on the brakes, and he's up into that top 3 very easily. In behind, Benefield and Dyson go side by side as well. Benefield into the top 5. So these two moving forward again, but they've got to find a way to be better on pit road, these two. They're clearly as quick as the leader, but just no chance at staying close to him when you've got to make these overtakes before you can really focus on speed.
You know, I've watched a lot of races at Richmond over the years, starting all the way back 2008 whenever Dale Jr. and Kyle Busch made contact and turned Kyle Busch into the bad boy of NASCAR stock car racing. But I can tell you right now that over the years, something that you always seem to see towards the end of these races is someone tries to approach their leader and challenge. And for the first time tonight, we actually have someone who was able to stick within half a second of Galata. So with that in mind, that gives us hope for a chance of a close finish up at the front of the field. And that's the first time that we could say that all day. I mean, Hoffman's still like within 0.6 of a second, but I'm sure over the course of the long run, we'll see how long that sticks. But right here, you're looking at the 12 car. Nolan Hodson has a lot of fans. That 12 car. Family members love watching this driver here. I got to tell you something about Nolan is that all year he's kind of, to me at the beginning, was kind of an underdog, but he grew into being a winner when he won in Atlanta by phenomenal fashion. I was so pumped for him. But then he goes out and he actually competes week in, week out, getting wins on his own. He's just a fast race car driver, but whenever he's racing, he puts on a VR headset and he drives in VR. Very similar to what I like to do as well. But when I see him in VR, I always say he puts on the VR headset and he's just a happy guy. He gets to drive his race car today. Battling with Steven Williams. I mean, this is not the best of performances for the 12 this afternoon, however. He's up to 17th. He's got a long way to go. He had a lot of damage, though, for the beginning accidents at the start of stage 2, and he's only been recovering from those accidents since the beginning. So 12 car, someone to watch over the course of this final run to see if he's able to crack a top 10 finishing spot tonight.
Don't forget as well, just rewind the YouTube stream about an hour or so to check where he was earlier, just to make sure I hadn't made this up. The 12 car was 2 laps down an hour ago. That was not that long ago in this race. I know there's been a lot of cautions in the meantime, but he's worked himself back onto the lead lap as Hodgson, and he's right in this race now, right in the top 20, with a chance of winning here. He's in a battle with Williams continuing, as we were just watching there. That is one of the great things about over racing, I've got to say. When you're laps down in road racing normally, you're out of it, and you're off the lead lap in the safety cars. You're just in the way, really. You're a bit annoying for the rest of the field. But in over racing, you're still in the game, and the way that you can actually make up laps here at Richmond, get yourself back onto lead lap and in with a shout of a good result is just fantastic.
Man, I've always fell in love with this type of racing, but now we got the problem where we just got this long green flag run. Not necessarily a problem, it just changes the driving, but take a look on your screen. Holy cow, who is that? Is it a bird? Is it plane? No, it's Bobby Anderson in the 5 car. He had a penalty handful of laps ago, and he's already back up all the way to 14th. That 5 car, he was at the back of the field just a handful of laps ago. But with this restart, I think that 5 car has a lot of speed, and I am so curious what it would have been like if he was at the front of the field for this restart, because I think he might have had a chance to stick around. He's got the speed to pass cars in the middle part of the field here, and he's only moving forward.
Yeah, he seems to have the best car in traffic tonight, it seems to me. He's made a lot of progress, and they're stacking up in front of him here. How quickly is he going to be able to get in front of these guys as he's recovering from that penalty? He was absolutely livid with himself after speeding under caution in the pit lane, and could have had that chance to restart from the front. He's had to make those overtakes all over again, but this is where, ironically, his car is more comfortable in the traffic.
That's what we saw. He was able to go by 18 cars to get to the win of the stage last, with 15 laps to go on the final run. Absolutely phenomenal to see that happen. I mean, unique. I've never seen another driver do something like that since another driver did it at Dega. I'm sure you know who I'm talking about, but I gotta tell you now, I think that 5 car is going to be someone to be a contender if he's able to get back up to the front. And this is the best race we've seen out of him all year.
It's a great run down the inside for Anderson again into 12th place. Hunter on the outside, just in behind Coffey. So those two were together earlier, weren't they, actually? 57 and 54. not 57, sorry, 48 and 54. And there they are side by side again. Hopefully no lap traffic to interrupt them this time round.
Absolutely. You know, I'm thinking about it right now, and take a look at the gap from first to second now. We're at 1.7 seconds. Hoffman's tires are falling off a cliff right now, unfortunately for him and his team. Galata just has leaps and bounds. Again, like I said, all race, he's just that much faster on all parts of the run. I mean, he's got himself, I don't know what type of setup he's running, but I tell you, he must have spent, him and his team must have spent hours, days even, weeks probably preparing this race car to go out here and put a stomping on the rest of this field. And remember, these guys are backed by full esport racing team setup shops, things like that. These guys are just, you know, they spend weeks there on their own trying to produce a setup that's able to compete well against everybody else. But something that Galata has is just different from every other driver on the racetrack right now, because it looks like the 5-car of Anderson's able to get by. Up for 11th now, and he has a little bit of open track ahead to try and chase down Lucas Hoytsma in 10th.
That's Sean O'Brien Jr., who he's just got past there, Anderson. And that's a driver who he's racing for points with in the current playoff standings. He needs to gain quite a lot tonight to be able to get there in on points, otherwise he'll be in a must-win situation when it comes to Daytona in 1 week's time. This is side by side between Williams and Simpson. Simpson in the 2-car, not able to get past on that occasion, but yeah, interesting what's happened out front now. Hoffman went out really hard to try and stay with Galata, but Galata's showing that he's got both short run and long run. Hoffman had the speed initially, now no longer, and Hill surely will be able to pass him soon.
I'm sure right now that 2-car really just wants to set up the pass and make it work, just like Hodgson was able to make a pass on Tyler Hunter for 14th. He just moved up a spot. We're now looking at the 83 of Adam Benefiel here. I mean, something about him in terms of his long run speed. Take a look. He ran a 22.1 this last time by. He's the fastest car that I'm seeing on the racetrack right now. He's just that much faster than the rest of the field. However, is he going to be able to catch Galata? He ran 0.2 of a second last time by faster, but let's see if that continues. They're going to come across the stripe here, and we're going to have an updated lap time for you. So with the leader crossing the stripe, he got a 22.3. And then Benefiel gets a 22.1. So again, he's got 2 seconds, 0.2 of a second faster than the leader right now.
Yeah, and I think this has been the case all night for 83, but he's just been stuck in traffic for the entire night. What he needs is a good pit stop through a caution period, or just a situation where he ends up second, not too far behind Galata on a restart. And I think he is one of the only drivers who can stay with Galata at the front here. Remains to be seen whether that becomes true or not, but Hill, another one of those as well. I think he could stay with Galata, but neither of them have had the chance to either be on the front row with him or be in third place where they can just slip in behind him and catch up that way. I think if they were to be able to get that chance, they could be a real force to be reckoned with, but they're a long way behind for now. There's still 120 of overtakes to be made, and then a big gap to close, nearly 3 seconds out to the leader now.
You know, I'm thinking about it here. That 83 all over the back bumper of Paul Hill, he's going to make a move down to the bottom, and he's able to make that pass and get it done just like that. And so now with that in mind, he's just going to keep moving his way forward. I'm excited to see if he's able to chase down the leader, but he's got 2.7 seconds to try and make up, so that's just a long way to go.
That's going to take a long time if he's going to get there. So I would argue there'd be pit stops before then if this race remains green all until that period. Hoffman here starting to pay the price for his early exploits here in this run. Last time was the slowest driver of these top 3. Discounting Hill, who lost a position on that lap. He was the slowest in the top 6, was Hoffman last time round. He is going to be caught by Benefiel very quickly here, and might imagine passed pretty quickly as well.
Now, right now, he's going to have his way to try and catch up to the back bumper here, second place. If he's able to make that pass, he's going to get some clean air. It's going to allow him to be able to get some quick lap times in, I think, and have a chance of catching up further. But then again, it's just 2.4, 2.7 seconds. Not sure if he's going to be able to actually make that work over the course of the run. And, man, I don't know. You can see that 92 just getting really loose and sideways up ahead of him.
You can just see that he's gone out too hard here. Somebody had to try at some point, you know, burn through your tyres really early to try and stay with Gallardo, see what happens if that gap is about half a second at any stage. But we've seen Hoffman can't keep the pace. Gallardo's able to go fast and keep the tyres underneath him here. Hoffman only able to do one at a time as Benefield looks to the inside into 1 and 2, and car 83 is going to be second here. 2.5 seconds behind Gallardo still, but moves up into that second position now. 2.5 seconds up to the leader to try and chase down. Hill behind Hoffman, surely we're able to pass through as well. Caution out on the racetrack.
Billy Brickley sitting back sideways on the back straightaway right now. That's going to bring out yet another caution, and that changes everything. Everybody's going to be able to make it on gas from here to the end. Strategy's going out the window here.
Absolutely. No more pit stops if it stays green to the very end. Oh, he's just clipped the apron and spun on his own.
Yep, that happens sometimes. Hate to see that, but you can see the marbles there on the bottom of the racetrack. They build up, and if you get any sort of tire drop down on the apron like that, it just loses all grip and wants to spin out on you. Luckily, he didn't hit anything, so that will be a caution. And now we got 113 laps to go. Pit stops. Are you going to pit now? I say yes. I would say very little chance you want to stay out here.
Nobody's staying out, surely. Is that 83 staying out, or is that somebody? No, it's not.
No, that was somebody else.
Very
That
similar.
was
Oh, just me. A hard jump there. Loads of them on the lead lap coming in. As you say, I think everyone's coming in here on the lead lap. Maybe if you're off the lead lap and you want to get those back again quickly, there's plenty of them laps off the back at the moment. About 6 of them. They might stay out, but these guys are all in. Gallardo pulls into pit box number 1. There he is, hits his marks all over again. Is he going to win the race off pit road all over again?
We'll see. Does anybody choose to do something different? 2 tires? I think Benefield actually might be. I'm not sure. No, but look at the 92. Did he make it?
Whoa.
Does not look like he did. Inches. Not quite enough to be able to get on by.
And again, Benefield losing time on pit road. Hoffman gets ahead of him in 92. Now, it might actually be the better place to be in third on this restart. However, it looks like he's lost positions again off of pit road. Very, very close as it was, as I believe we're about to see this race off pit road. Here it is. Did Hoffman get there? It's really close, isn't it?
Nope,
I think Gallardo just made it.
That's the closest one for the lead I've seen in a while, and I'm just glad that we had a slow motion replay. I've been commentating iRacing for a while, but I mean, just this year, actually, I should say, not a long time. But what I can say is that was the first time I've ever seen a slow motion replay of an exit of pit road. That was cool. DJ Lyon over here on our producer board making a cool little shot there for us.
But it's very close, worth having a look at, because it could be important for this race start. If Gallardo was not the leader, what would have happened? We're still not going to find out, because he's restarted almost every time off of the start on the front here. 3 cars in front, by the way, going to get the wave around. One of them's Chris Davis in 74 to make it 24 cars on the lead lap.
Well, we're going to get this restart down, and remember what we've seen so far on these restarts, that outside line just not able to keep up pace. I'm a little worried, to say the least, about this restart with 110 to go. Now it's all about, who could save their tires over the course of the long run, or of course, the strategy game. If you have an extra couple sets in the pit road, that would be good for you with the all green first stage. That might still be the case, have a few sets down, but you don't necessarily have to come back down pit road. As we get the green flag back out underway, outside line, again, not the best of jumps, and Benefield is going to be side by side for second, heading into 1. It's contact. Delaney goes up into the outside wall. Heavy contact, and that's yet another caution. And it looks like a total of 3 cars were involved in that accident.
Delaney still not, now caution flies. Wow, 6 car Delaney, who's run so well tonight in the fence at turn 1. Looking for our regular season championship, don't forget, tonight. And he was alongside one of his rivals for that regular season championship in 41. Dyson, contact with Delaney, and his rival for the regular season championship ends up in the fence.
I cannot believe what I just saw. That 41 has the current championship points lead, but he made contact with his closest competitor in the 6 car there. With that in mind, I mean, that 6 car cannot be happy about that.
No, and you can see what happened. You know, Dyson hasn't dumped him on purpose. He's trying to go on the outside here. He's trying to look Fred free wide, but Delaney doesn't think they're free wide. Thinks they're only 2. He turns across the nose of Dyson, who spins him out into turn 1. But the irony not lost on those 2, I would imagine, that those are the guys fighting for the regular season championship, alongside Matt Diciani as well, of course, who we can't forget. He wasn't involved in that, though.
I gotta tell you right here, we just heard over the radio, Adam Benefield decided to have a little comment saying, oh, that was probably intentional for the regular season championship. I like your style, Dyson, end quote. Holy cow, I think he was joking, but still, I find that to be kind of funny over the radio. You hear that. That's a little sketchy, to say the least.
Yeah, you never want those kind of things flying about in the race channels. Delaney makes a pit stop. 29 seconds in the box and then back out.
He lost a lap. He wasn't able to get back out there on the racetrack in time. I don't think so. He has to slow down and let the pace car go. He didn't make it.
Wow. Wow.
So from bad to worse for Delaney.
Damaged and a lap down. He is going to be filthy with himself after that. And he will have to drop all the way to the back end of the field. Wow, that is a real shame for him. That restart, by the way, was pretty much perfect for Adam Benfield, who got into second place there, in a position to chase Gallotta, and then there was a caution, and now he's stuck on the outside again for this restart, where he doesn't really want to be.
Well, nobody wants to be on the outside line. I mean, the leader is the only person here that has a choice. They can choose to restart on the bottom or the top, and there has not been one restart tonight where we had someone choose the outside. So that in mind, that bottom line is just the way to go right now. And we're going to have to keep an eye out for that 6 car. If we get another caution, he's able to get his lap back, then we'll see if he's able to march his way through the field again. Remember, he didn't have the best of qualifying efforts whenever he was out there. He started 27th, actually, to say that. So, sorry, 14th. We're going to get back underway, though. You see that inside line, get the huge jump. And just like that outside line, you want to bail from it as quickly as you can. Hoffman up to second, the only driver we've seen so far that's able to keep up on these restarts with Gallotta.
Yeah, if it's a short restart, we know that Hoffman can stay with him. But if it's a longer run, as we suspect it might be, it's more difficult. Hill gets in front of Benefield as well, who wants to just pull in line, and he defends the inside actually from Dyson and Murray, who go side by side. Look at that, the 7 car of Alex Murray right round the outside. Not seeing much of him tonight.
Still sitting around top 10 spot for Murray, but this is the first time we've seen him crack the top 10. He's up to 4th, passing right there. Benefield on the outside, and he's going to get the job done. Heading down into the corner now. He's actually going to be in a good spot. But the battle for second, Hoffman and Hill, they are nose to tail. But throughout the field behind them, there's just side-by-side battling between the 41 of Dyson and Benefield there. See Neil Pearson, Lucas Hoytsma, and take a look at who's in the top 10. It's Bobby Anderson in the 5 car, just behind these guys, able to catch back up after his stage win at stage 2. He's just going to keep marching forward.
Yeah, one of the best cars in traffic, Anderson. And he's now in lesser of it as well, so surely he'll be quick and looking to get a nice top 10 finish here tonight, but ideally needs a win for his playoffs, really. Closing in on 100 laps to go. There it is, 100 to go here from Richmond. This is where the intensity really ramps up, and if there is no caution from now until the finish, this will be the final set of tyres they're all on in the final run to the end.
Oh, I wouldn't want to run 115 laps on some tires like this around this place. It is just going to get longer and longer as we go. I mean, Galata's in a good spot, and I think he's got a really good long run car right now, but man, I have no idea how that's going to work for him. That would be the longest run of the night. We've only seen as long as 70 laps on a single run. To be able to go to 113, that'd be the longest one we've seen.
Yeah, absolutely it would. And you'd imagine they might be thinking about green flag pit stops if indeed it got to that, but maybe they will go the whole way anyway. I do find it unlikely that we'll get the whole way all green, by the way, but you just never know. We'll keep looking out for it as we come into 1 and 2 with these guys again. Hill, Hoffman and Murray, not necessarily in that order, racing for second. Just in behind Galata, who leads out front at the moment. Over the line. Let's go on board, shall we, and just listen into these machines just for a moment. With 96 to go here from Richmond. Hoffman, Hill, Murray all in this battle.
Gotta tell you right here, I mean, that gap from first to second, that is closing. It is getting to the point where I don't think that Galata is running similar lap times as we saw at the beginning of the race. That 99 is losing ground a little bit, lap in and lap out over second place, and maybe scooting out a little bit that time by, but at least you can see the leader in the picture. First time we've seen that all night up front.
Yeah, this is a close run at the moment, and I said it earlier on in the day. Lotto was never going to be able to get out to such a lead every single restart. It'd be abnormal. What the other guys had to do is just work on their cars all throughout the night, so that by the final 100 laps they could be closer to Galata and try and challenge him for this race lead. That's exactly what they've managed to do here. Hoffman, Hill, and even Murray, who's really improved in his car. Benefield maybe has just gone the wrong way in the last couple of moments, and he's now down to 7th. And that last restart did not get off to a good one at all. Needs to get him back into this front group again to try and challenge Galata again, but everybody's worked on their cars, got closer to Galata. That much is very clear over the course of the last 300 laps.
That time by identical lap times. They ran the same lap time, first and second. Holy cow. 21.725 for both first and second. That's hard to do. I mean, it's so hard to run identical lap times when you're trying, but it happens more often when you're not, it seems like. They crossed the stripe that time. Again! 2 in a row! Same lap times. Oh, that time it just adjusted slightly. Just switched up again. Holy cow. I thought they were the same lap time for another second, but it just updated and changed. Holy cow.
I mean, they're running super close lap times. There's no doubt about that. You can just see that with your eyes at the moment as well. They are very, very close indeed. See if it makes one more adjustment there. But yeah, it does, just slightly slower for Hoffman that time. But there's barely any difference. And all throughout the top 5 as well, there's barely any difference. These guys have got their cars right, almost maxed out, it looks like at the moment, in terms of the way they're set up for the end of this race. They're all looking very, very good at this stage, and you can tell that by how close they're all running. They all look happy with the way they're handling.
I think in terms of short run speed, that 5 car's got a lot of it. He's able to manage in traffic really well, but as the run has been going on, he's been losing a little bit of that speed that we saw at the end of stage 2. So I think that 5 car is going to need a little bit of a assistance here towards the end with a caution time just right for him to be able to use that short run speed to his advantage. But right now sitting in 11th spot, just got passed by Cameron Stone, who now moves into the top 10. And another driver, I just gotta say, I mean, Neil Pearson up to 6th with Benefiel all over the back bumper. I mean, phenomenal run by the 62. Still, I am really surprised to see that his car is able to stick up here as long as it has.
And the inside, Benefiel starting to make up that progress again, and back to 6th, but such a good car, stuck in traffic all night long, that 83. And started this part of the race now with a 3-second deficit to Gallardo. That's going to be very difficult to overturn, even with 84 laps, now 83 in at Richmond tonight. So we'll see how he gets on with that. Decani is, by the way, losing, Tiziani, I should say, is losing a few positions on this last few laps. Anderson got into the 10, we saw that, and now Coffey's into 11th.
Yeah, DeCiani just seemed to be falling back. He lost a few spots here. He was running in 9th just a handful of laps ago, but Stone, he got loose out of the corner and lost the position to Stone and Bobby Anderson and Coffey. So he lost 3 spots due to one bobble heading into turn number 1. So the 4 car running really loose right now.
Yeah, certainly. And still a long way to go in this run. These guys have already been on these tyres, don't forget, for over 30 laps now. So this is the battle for second. Hoffman again starting at this stage in the run to lose a bit of time to Gallardo, and Hill has got to try and get past to give chase to the race leader.
Now the question I have here, is it going to be worth it? Paul Hill makes a move down to the inside. It looks like he's going to be trying to make a move on the inside of Hoffman, still side by side. They got Alex Murray there in the back part of the shot there. And the 26 is going to be able to make the pass. Moves up to second place. But look at the gap, to 1.5 seconds to the leader, Gallardo. Let's take a look at their last lap times, and we're going to see if Paul Hill has anything in for Gallardo next time by. So he just got by. This lap should be a lap that could be representing what he can do on his own here, but he's got a lap car in front, a little dirty air. That time by, he ran a whole 1/10 of a second, nearly a 1/10 of a second faster than our leader. Is he going to be able to maintain that? That is the question.
Well, not on this lap he's not, because there's that lap traffic, as you mentioned, that has just gotten in front of him now, so that's going to complicate things now on this next lap. That's Matthew Wheeler, who's 5 laps down now. It's gone down a 5th lap in this run, but he's still running 28th because we've got 8 cars out of the race so far. And the latest of them, Chris Davis, who's fought so hard to get onto the lead lap at various points tonight. Unfortunate to see him out of the race, but that has just affected that last lap time for Hill there.
Not quite over yet, though, for Hill. He definitely has the speed to be able to catch him back down. We'll see if he's able to do so over the next 77 laps. But something we got to mention as well, some drivers that have really recovered well. Remember, we saw the 20-car Devin Medeiros around sideways twice tonight. However, he has recovered to now currently sitting in the 20th spot. Sorry, 15th spot, I rather should say. So he's still having a good night, even though he's gotten spun around a couple times.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what it's all about, bouncing back from these problems that you're bound to have over the course of one of these full-length races. 400 laps here at Richmond. It's a very, very long night, and you're likely to have some sort of something go wrong at some point. What's so interesting about these longer races, that the changes and the differences you have throughout the different runs, it's always so fascinating. But getting into that final run now, that final 100 laps, where it gets ultra exciting now.
You know, we're seeing a lot of great recoveries here, but we're also seeing some nights that may not be what we expect to see. But let's go ahead and first take a look at this battle right here. You see the 5-car making his way forward, got by Lucas Hoytsma there. That is for position. Now he's catching another lap car here, so he's going to have to try and get around him. Matthew Boston Wheeler, remember, he was the one that made contact with Devin Medeiros we talked about earlier, sent him around. But the worst for wears there was the 0-1 in the long run, it looks like here. As it looks like Coffey really trying to catch up to the back bumper of that 97 Hoytsma. these three cars are just kind of tucked under a blanket right now.
And they absolutely are. Just running absolutely together out there on the racetrack. Coffee looking a little bit higher through 3 and 4. Was diamonding off the corner, looking for a late apex almost out of 4. Now with the run on the front stretch, looks to the inside and gets into the top 10, although it's not over yet. Heutzmann fights back on the outside.
While this is going on up front, Benefiel and Hoffman are also battling for spots. I think Benefiel just got by Clayton Hoffman for the 3rd place spot, and it looks like Coffey just got by Heutzmann as well. So that moves up Benefiel to 3rd as Hoffman drops back to 4th. So we see again, the long run speed is just not there for Hoffman, unfortunately. He's running about 4/10 off of the cars around him, 5/10 off in some cases. But right now, that leader still showing the fastest lap times on and off, but Benefiel is the only one that seems to be gaining more than 1/10 right now over the leader, Galata. So at 83, if he has this continued to stay green, it might be a chance that we see him catch back up like that. We'll have to see if it works out for him.
Yeah, maybe. I still wonder what would have happened if he'd have restarted either on this restart or any of the previous ones just a little bit better. I truly believe he's got the speed to stay with Galata, but just has never had the track position in this race to do it. We may never find out because this race is now growing old and it's going to be over before we know it. But Benefiel has shown such good speed when he gets to clean air. I mean, last 2 laps, there goes another lap, 3 laps now, consistently at least half a tenth quicker than Galata.
But then again, he still has like 2.5 seconds to be able to gain him, so he needs to do this constantly for 25 laps, and he might have a chance to get into the back bumper. But that's easier said than done, to say the least. But you see these gaps starting to develop. This happens over the course of long runs. Some cars have better tire wear, some have worse. But right now, Paul Hill and the 83 are trying everything they can to try and catch up to the back bumper at Galata.
Yeah, they are. If he can continue to run these 22.1s, Benefiel's going to be there, between 25 and 50 laps from now, if this continues on as it is, of course. But it's a long, long way in the future. And there's a 2. Hill, of course, is going to disrupt that slightly, as he will certainly get in the way. He will not allow it to easily happen for Benefiel at the moment. There's a bit of new tyre action, by the way, for Wheeler in the 01. Shows you what a difference a new set of 4 tyres would make at this stage.
Absolutely. I mean, not necessarily the fastest car out there, but he's still able to pass some of the fastest guys out there on fresh tires. Dyson and Murray for the 5th place spot are battling pretty hard. It looks like that is something that just happened. Murray lost a spot to Dyson that last time by. So that puts Dyson up to 5th place now, right into the top 5 where he needs to be. But that pass was just made up front. And take a look at some. This is my Bobby Anderson and Neil Pearson as well are battling side by side. Something to mention about. They just completed the pass. The 5 car was able to make it by Neil Pearson. Up another spot for Bobby Anderson, up to 8. That car is just moving forward every single time. I'd like to see him on a restart up at the front with fresh tires. I mean, I think that 5 car might have something for the leaders if he's able to be in the right position.
Yeah, certainly he's got decent speed as Bobby Anderson. Has not got a top 5 this season. Maybe tonight is the night. Only 3 top 10s as well, so that would increase that tally by quite a percentage there. If he could even get a top 10, which is what he'd get if this race runs green, I think, all the way to the end. But might be able to get even more if there's another caution later on, or maybe even if there isn't. He's shown tonight that he's got the speed, and I actually believe that the best car in traffic, I think that he's got. Maybe that's not true, but I've only judged that by watching it. The way he's been able to make moves has been fantastic from Anderson tonight.
That's absolutely right. And just behind them, they actually just had a pass again. Alex Coffey was able to make his way by Neil Pearson. It looks like Neil's actually losing some spots left and right, but we have a caution out on the racetrack. 1 car around, and this changes everything with 59 laps to go.
It was right around the halfway point in this final stage anyway, so the drivers might have been thinking about pitting in. Well, It's a good reason why they wait, and they didn't take on green flag pit stops here tonight, because they wait for cautions, and this is why a simple spin off of 2 for the 81. Oh no, it's not simple at all. There's a crash in front.
Yeah, caution, the 48 car. Let's take a look and see, can we get another angle here? The 29 Tanner Marty just dives it in too deep and gets into the left rear quarter panel of the 48, spins him out. Heavy front damage for Tyler Hunter. Oh, man, that was a little ambitious from the 29.
Did you bump him here, or did you just get close?
Yeah, he absolutely
I think that's contact.
He absolutely did. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. And then the spin to the other side. He hits the wall hard. Tanner Marty, by the way, one of those drivers near the cut line in terms of points, 108 below Sean O'Brien coming into today. That is not going to make him too many friends.
You know, it's interesting. I think those two are actually really close in terms of being friends. So I am kind of surprised that happened. Here's pit stops. This is very important. Does anyone choose to go with 2 or just 4? Looks like I see someone trying to do the 2 tire stop right there. It is Hoffman going for 2 tires.
And what about the rest? Oh, that was close.
Hill.
And he's been beaten. He was
Hill
beaten there. Absolutely. Wow. I don't think was ahead of the line there at all. He's out front on the racetrack at the moment, but I think, oh no, he's not. So he's just reversed that. Paul Hill gets to the front, but again, Hill finds himself on the outside of the front row, not really where you want to be.
Absolutely not. I mean, I will tell you this. I think that he saw that happen, and maybe Galata let up to let Paul Hill go. I mean, that's the smart decision to do, and that's a tactic we see all the time. But in terms of pit stop speed, Paul Hill had at least a 0.4 of a second faster pit stop than what we saw there. Now this changes everything. 55 laps to go when they cross the stripe. I mean, with these guys, new leaders up front, I don't know. I mean, it's going to be close to say the least. But I'm excited to watch Bobby Anderson, currently sitting in 9th. I think that it's going to be exciting to see if he's able to do another one of those charges we saw earlier.
I gotta feel sorry for in this run is Adam Benefield again losing spots on that pit stop, down to 6th this time. His pit stop was the longest of anybody's in that stop, outside of those who repaired damage further down the field. Again, more traffic for him to deal with tonight in one of the fastest cars. And the one saving grace, by the way, that Hill's starting on the outside is the fact that it's a 2-tire runner on the inside of Hoffman. Is that going to save him here, and is that going to block Galata from actually getting past them both, or is it just going to help the 99 get away quicker?
I'm not sure, but we're going to find out here in just a moment. That 92 on the bottom with 2 tires. Remember, he's got old tires, so look out for his tire spin. Here we go for the restart. 54 laps to go. Green flag back out in the air. Great jump for the 92 up front. He's able to make that work. Heading into turn number 1. Paul Hill not able to get in front of the 99. Oh. They will be single file there.
And he went too deep into 1.
Caution's out.
Caution immediately.
Let's take a look. I think it's something to do with the 97. Bobby Anderson in the 5 car, actually. Let's take a look and see what happened to Bobby.
I said we were excited to see him on this restart from 9th place. How has this happened?
He just disappeared from the racetrack. I'm not sure exactly what may have caused that.
He's gone.
I think it was actually the 97. It was the 97. Hoytsma on the front straightaway on the restart.
Yeah, Anderson's definitely gone though, hasn't he? He's properly gone from the session.
Upload packet
without
loss.
too much damage, at least.
Yeah, he lost packet loss. So the 5 car problematic here. So take a look at the restart from the 97. It would be right at the restart. I think this is this like right before the restart? Here we go. It'd be right when the green flag drops.
Coming to it.
Here we go. 97. No, this can't be it. This is under caution, I think. If we can go back another lap. He was double file with everybody else. I think that right here. This is going to be where we're going to see what happened to bring out this caution. The 97 on the restart. If you ride on board, like inside the car, it should tell us a lot. Take a look. Here we go. So he gets on the gas and just completely loses it. Nobody hit him. Nobody was behind him. He just lost it on his own. And race control deemed that to be caution worthy. So race control threw the caution right when that happened.
That spin was so violent, I thought somebody must have hit him, but nobody was near him, as you say. Just dropped that on power, and it was a violent spin, considering that there was no contact, but Hoytma drops to the back, and another caution waves. So a few more laps taken off for Hoffman, who probably gains the most out of this on his two-tyre strategy.
So now this is actually exactly what he wanted here, because Hoffman's going to have the lead, but Galata is going to be in second in the worst spot on all restarts, the outside line of the lead, front row. That has just been a terrible place for people to restart on all night long. So with that in mind, it's going to definitely be something to watch, to say the least. We're going to get the 1 to go signal here. We already have it, and we're on the back straightaway. Oh, Hoffman, wait, hold on. Did they give the lead to Galata, or did Hoffman choose the top? He chose the outside. That's the first time we've seen anybody do that all night. Well, it worked.
It's going to work.
Find out. I don't know.
I mean,
that was not the best of choices. Oh my goodness. They're already rubbing fenders in the back. We're back underway, that outside line. Not going to work just like that. I told you, Galata's going to dive bomb the corner, and he was able to make the pass. Hoffman trying to top line was not the smartest of choices, I think.
Well, he's still there, and maybe that's where he wants to defend from, this top line. As I say, we've not seen it tonight, so we've not actually seen how it's going to pan out, but on these two
Neil
tyres...
Pearson spinning on the front stretch. Caution's out again, Neil Pearson, but it doesn't matter. Galata's going to have the lead. No contact for Neil, but he did get sideways on the front straightaway.
Well, Hoffman's going to be disappointed about that because his strategy was working-ish. He was keeping that outside as he wanted, but it's way different when you're controlling the restart from when somebody else is from the inside.
Just lost it on his own, spun it off of turn number 4, right through the grass. You know, I just thought about it here. And, you know, it's interesting to say, but 2 cars spinning on their own, caution after caution here. That's not what we normally have seen all night. Drivers have been really cautious with their cars, but now we're getting to the part of the race where people are pushing really hard, trying to get everything they can get and pushing their cars to their limits, and some folks just step over the limit a couple times, it looks like. But Galata, the lesson learned here from Hoffman is never start on the outside line. I don't think that was a smart decision at all. I mean, we've seen it every single restart. The lead car was at least able to clear second place on the outside by over a car length prior to getting to turn 1 when they started on the bottom. Well, what we're going to do under this caution, I think it'd be cool to talk to Alex Murray there. Let's see if we can't bring him in here. Let's see if we can't find him. Where is he at? I don't see Murray in the message Discord here. Oh, there he is. I found him. We're going to bring him up. There we go. Alex Murray, Kirk Mills in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you.
Hey, man, tell us. You got those 2 cars up in front of you. You're sitting 3rd right now. Got any plans to be able to stop the guy who has been unstoppable practically all night?
We'll see what happens. I have no clue how this is going to shake out. We just threw something at it, so we'll see what happens.
10-4, Alex. All right, let me ask you this. How's the night been for you? You having a good time? Boring? Fun? What are you thinking?
I think the race has been pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
Richmond's always a good racetrack, so we'll see what happens. Like I said, I hope we can get it done, but if not, just like to come out of here with some good points.
All right, Alex. Well, thanks so much for coming up here and talking with us. But I do want to ask you, is there anybody you want to shout out before we send you back?
Yeah, Precision Speed Solutions, Zenla for being on the box for me tonight. You guys, obviously, for broadcasting it. And hopefully we can get a checker flag here.
Best of luck to you there, Alex.
Thank you.
That was Alex Murray driving in that 7 car on the bottom lane. Gonna have a restart right behind the leader. Sitting in the best spot in the house to get a good jump on the restart. They're doubling up now on the front straightaway, getting ready for a restart. I gotta ask you, Ewin, what is your hope here for the end? Do you think we're gonna go green to the end? Do you think we're gonna see some wrecks? So what's on your mind?
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? I think normally the wrecks you'd likely see towards the end haven't happened in the previous 2 cautions, although they've been very short runs. It's been sort of solo spins, which is a bit unusual. It's either going to go one or 2 ways, I think. It's either going to go these last 43 green, or it's going to be very, very stop-start for the remainder of this race. But I'm hoping that there's at least some green flag running towards the end here.
I agree 100%. Here we go. Who's going to get the jump? Galata, great jump on that restart. Outside line, Hoffman had a pretty good jump as well, able to possibly clear for second. Murray didn't quite get the best of restarts. Heading into turn number 1, Murray's going to be right on the back bumper. Galata there for a second as Hoffman's up almost into the 3rd lane, almost got put 3 wide. As around goes the 2 cars. Simpson spinning in front of the field, huge crash. 4, 5, 6 cars involved. I see the 97 of Hoytsma, the 8 car of Ralph Hutchinson, and Tyler Hunter involved, but Simpson going around is what sparked it all.
Yeah, it did. He was the first one. You could see him lock it down straight away, but it was a very similar crash to the one that brought out the first one for incident tonight in its reaction. Less cars in the race, so less got involved in the end, but he got hit. He got hit there by Medeiros.
A heavy hit for the 8 car. I had nowhere to go. That's going to kill the 8 car there. But yeah, Medeiros just got loose out of the corner and door slammed the 2 cars. Simpson sent him for a spin on the exit of the corner, and everybody checked up for it. And it looks like I see maybe 5 or 6 cars, maybe 7 that were involved in that, including Neil Pearson and a few others. So that will, again, bring out a caution. Take a look right here. That 20 car got loose, hit the 2 car, goes around, and more cars just make contact behind them, and they go for a spin in a large pileup into turn number 3 that time by.
Yeah, real shame for a number of those competitive cars caught up in that on the back straight. I said it was going to go 1 or 2 ways. Unfortunately, it's gone the way of a early caution from that restart, and I have a feeling it could be pretty similar to that for the remainder here. This is going to be a good view as to what's happened up ahead here, and just what you're likely to see as a driver in the midfield. Smoke, cars everywhere, and I'm not sure if they were hit actually in car 30 or what, but a spin themselves.
That was an amazing maneuver to try and get through it. They kind of fit through a hole that I didn't think was going to be there. Look at this 30 car. Catch up to the bumper, gets sideways, and that was a splitting the hole if I've ever seen it. Holy cow, he didn't hit nobody. That was phenomenal. That was cool, William Owens. That was awesome. I like seeing that type of racing. That was a great move to be able to get through the wreck without hitting anybody. No damage for the 30 car.
0-1 and straight through and sideswiped him as well, by the way. So yeah, it was trying to avoid by just staying flat out in that one. There's a number of drivers come down pit lane. Simpson and Hoytsma are stopping for quite a long time in this caution, and Hoytsma I think will go a lap down as a result, unless he's going to get out here very, very quickly in a moment. And well, let's see. But they're packing up again. Galata and Hoffman on the front row all over again.
We saw that restart last time by. The 92 was able to keep up with the 99 of Galata. Will he be able to do it again? I'm not sure, but still Galata is able to get about a car length on him every restart. But the 92's got to time it just right. He's got to be able to guess what's going to happen here. And I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but we're down to 39 to go. Galata's got this lead right now. We're back underway. Take a look here. Not the best of restarts on the outside lane. Not going to work for him. Galata's getting out to a huge lead, and now Alex Murray's going to be clearing for second.
Yeah, and that's probably bad news for Galata, really. Murray showing decent speed here on these restarts, especially in that 7 car. A lot quicker speed than what he was showing earlier tonight. Benefield now on the inside as well of Hoffman, who's stuck on that outside line. I think that's where he wants to defend from, but with those 2 tyres, it's going to be nearly impossible. Here comes Dyson as well on Hill.
Yeah, Dyson just sent it really hard into the corner on Paul Hill, and he moved him out of the way to try and get that spot away. The battle now is for third. You see that 92 of Hoffman dropping back. That puts Benefield up a spot as they're wrecking out of turn number 4. 4 cars spinning on the front straightaway now. 73 of Evan Mesnard, Billy Brickley, and a few more cars involved in that particular incident, bringing out yet another caution.
You could tell Gallardo was ready to go because he just set the fastest lap of the race before that caution flag flew at the end of just the second lap in this run. It's a big stack up through 4. 65 goes around first, and they all just stack into it.
Sean O'Brien Jr., William Owens, not as lucky this time to get through. But Sean O'Brien Jr., remember, he's on the cut line. He's 90 points to the good, so not really that big of a deal. But the fact that he's in a position where he got loose like that, not something you wanted to see at all.
No, this is what we expect to see now for the remainder of this race. It's going to be caution heavy from here to the finish. O'Brien there will be disappointed.
We had an incident under caution.
Oh.
Under caution, we had the 73 of Evan Mesnard hit the tire barriers, the water barrels on the entry to pit road. It was on lap 365. He was trying to come down to pit road, and he hit the right front and broke the right front tire.
Hoffman, by the way, also came in under that caution, and he's been in there for quite a long time in his pit box, so I'm not sure whether he has some damage at the moment to repair, but he's taking 4 tyres. Top 14 all stay out there on the racetrack. What was going on down here?
He had to get by a couple cars here. He was able to get by, and right here it told him that he was good, and just clipped the tires, broke the right front tire, and he has to he decided to reset the car instead of driving it back to his box. So Evan Mesnard's night goes from bad to worse. Not the best of nights for him, and hate to see it. He's a really nice guy, just unfortunate circumstance here.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what was going on under caution there. Obviously, there's a lot of shuffling that goes on before the pit lane opens. Surely that's well after the commitment box as well. But anyway, had to try and come in, and an incident there. There is the aerial view of Richmond with currently 20 cars still on the lead lap. Not too many more than that still in the race as things stand. Joseph Gallotta still leading the way. We'll see whether he's going to get this race win stolen away from him in the last 32 laps as we gear up for another restart.
I think that right now the number one concern that he's going to have, actually, we may have a change. I think that they did. They just switched to single file restarts. The race control has decided to change the restart style to single file due to the number of cautions. Changing rules in the middle of the race is what we're seeing right here. We'll see the restart. Obviously, it's just going to stay single file. Here we go. Back underway.
And just as Benefield got into third place, where it would have been ideal on a double file restart, it's a single file one. So he's still got traffic to deal with here as Gallotta tries to fly away straight away on this restart.
I tell you what, I am, this is going to make things a lot easier for the leader, Gallotta, here. It's not going to bring out the chaos that you normally expect to see towards the end of these races. 31 laps to go. They decided to go single file throughout the whole field. That's going to essentially make the odds of catching him way more difficult unless you're Alex Murray and have enough speed to be able to catch him. But from what we've seen tonight, it would be miraculous to see that 7-car catch back bumper Gallotta. So with race control making that decision that it's absolutely imperative that we go single file on these restarts, it's essentially changing the way that we're going to see the last 30 laps of this race.
Yeah, it is, but it does mean we're more likely to get some green flag running before the end of this race as well, which has got to be a good thing as Benefield gets himself down the inside now of Murray. He is the most realistic candidate for catching Gallotta tonight, and he's got to do it by getting past Murray straight away. Down the inside he goes, into 3 and 4, slips through just about on the inside line, and now he's got Gallotta in his sights just under 1 second and 28 laps to go.
Can he do it? I don't know. We're going to have to find out right here. He crossed the stripe that time by 0.8 of a second. He's got to gain 0.8 over the course of the run to be able to make this happen. Will the 83 be able to do it and try and win another short track race? The 83 of Adam Benefiel is one of the best on the short tracks in this series. He's won at Martinsville, and he's a driver who can definitely do it again here at Richmond. I don't anticipate that being impossible, but right now Galata's just been the class of the field, able to hang on to it the longest time, but let's see over the course of the run if that's able to continue. Battle right now between Alex Coffey there in, looks like the 6th place spot, trying to make a move for 6th on the inside of Cameron Stone. For 5th.
Yeah, it's Stone.
For 6th, yes, that's right.
Yeah, the 6th place. Stone on the outside in 57. Does get clear in time, so these are guys who really haven't run in the top 10 very often in this race, but because of the crashes and just staying out of trouble here, they are working their way to the front very, very nicely.
All right. Well, what I can tell you right now, with this single file we got running throughout the field, it's a matter of time. Will Benefiel be able to catch Galata? Based on the lap times, that time by, Galata was able to hang on to the gap for the lead right there and keep it at 0.694 right there.
It has come down since the restart, though. You know, he's done a good job, Benefiel, so far to keep Galata close, but now he's got to start to close in that margin.
I'm not sure if he's going to be able to make it happen. He's got to understand he's got 23 laps to do it. That's a long time. I mean, in reality, think about it this way. So with 22 laps to go in the race, and he's got a gap of about 0.7, he's got to go, let's see. So he needs to gain at least, I guess, 0.03 of a second every lap to be able to catch it. 0.03 right now. We'll see if he's able to get there or not, but I think that if he is able to catch up to the back bumper, that would be miraculous. Everybody else in the top 10, though, is single file from that restart all the way back through the field. Nolan Hodgson and Pearson, though, we just saw him move there for 10th. The 12th car, let's take a look at him. Remember, he was 2 laps down at one point. Now he's trying to battle for a top 10 spot with Medeiros sitting in 9th. What a great recovery for both of those drivers. 2 of them were involved in multiple incidents today and still able to come back to be in the top 10.
Again, the brilliant thing about oval racing, you're never out of it, really. And the fact that these two are inside the top 10 is a real big result. Outside for the 12 car as well. They're almost 3 wide here as Pearson was looking down the inside. As Hodgson was trying to take 9th, he might be losing 10th with Pearson behind.
I mean, I gotta say, this is great racing back here for the 10th place spot. Well, oh man, golly, look out, that wall's very aggressive. We've seen that 20 car get into it all night. It's gonna open the door for the 20 and Nolan Hodgson, trying to make a move down to the inside.
Oh,
he's so loose. Hang on to that car, man. Holy cow, that thing got so loose underneath him. He's able to make the pass, though. What a move. Able to get it done. And that's going to move him up all the way up to 9th. And he's trying to chase down the next one in line, which is Alex Coffey. Side by side, still for the 10th place spot. You can see it right there. Medeiros and Neil Pearson in the 20 and in the 62. Both cars were involved in accidents. All 3 of the cars on your screen tonight were involved in accidents, but they were able to recover and get to the point where they have a chance at a top 10 tonight. Stellar recovery.
In fairness, a lot of the drivers have been involved in incidents tonight at some point, so you know, it doesn't narrow the field down overly too much. I mean, O'Brien's just made up a couple of places up to 15th place. He's also been in the walls tonight, so O'Brien looks to hold on to those points that would see him into the playoffs at the moment, with Anderson and Tanner Marty both dropping down, and Robert Miller retiring very early on in the race as well. It's been a good day, a very good day for Sean O'Brien, who's one step closer to a spot in the playoffs.
After today, they will have only one race to go, and that's the wild card at Daytona. So after this race today, you could almost guarantee that the drivers that are currently in the point standings. Let's go ahead and actually, can we pull up the points graphic right here? This will at least give us an idea. Ralph Hutchinson and Cameron Stone, if we don't get a different winner tonight, which it looks like it's going to be the case, Ralph Hutchinson and Cameron Stone will be locked in on points. So if they are able to finish out the race without someone else winning, then they would be locked in, meaning Sean O'Brien Jr. is the only one that could get knocked out if someone behind him wins at Daytona. That is the only thing that could happen. So that's going to change things now and puts all the pressure on the 15th place spot right now with Hoytsman and O'Brien battling back side by side right now, actually.
Yeah, it certainly does. Of course, Gallotta is a new winner this season, worth pointing out, but he's not going to be a factor in the playoffs. He's only been at 4 races so far this season. You need to do 12, and he's only 47th in the point standings as well. You need to be in the top 25. So everybody who's won so far this season, who's likely to be in the top 25, is there now and is staying there. Gallotta, though, is going to join Christopher Pfeffer as one of those drivers who's done very few races this season, but has won one of them and will not get the playoff berth as a result of that win.
Absolutely. The Gallotta, no challengers with 10 laps to go this time by. He's just got clear sailing to the end of this race. Don't make any mistakes, and it might be his day to finally get a win. He out of his 4 races, he had speed in all 4 of his starts prior to tonight, and something always happened. He had a penalty on pit road. He had something happen where he got involved in an accident, a bad restart, spun the tires on a restart, got involved in a few accidents, had to come back and wasn't able to get all the way to the lead. But tonight, he has it right now, and he is just praying for one thing, and that is no caution. Keep it green all the way to the end. Let me get back to the start-finish line. He is staying consistent. His lap times are nearly identical every single lap. But if Gallotta is able to hang on and win this race, that will put a huge chip off of his shoulder, because in the previous races, he's talked with me and messaged me saying that it was something that he is so frustrated about. But now he's going to have a chance to finally get that chip off the shoulder and win one with 7 laps to go this time by.
And this final part of the race has pretty much been perfect for Gallotta. We've seen so far today that this car has unbelievable speed in the first 30 laps. I don't think anybody can match it in the first 30 laps. And what have we had here at the end? Basically a 30-lap green flag run to the finish. If this was closer to 100 laps, then you're bringing in guys like Benefiel and Murray and Hill especially into the fight. But in a short run like this, it's difficult. Side-by-side contact meantime for Hodgson again on Coffey. This is dangerous. This is not what Gallotta wants to see, if he could see it right now. 3 wide down to turn 3 for Coffey.
Oh, he's not happy with him. That 54 actually was rubbing with the 12 car. I think there's a little bit of beef going on right here. We're going to keep an eye on this until we get the 1 to go signal here, and we'll go back up to Gallotta. But right here, we got 5 laps to go, and the battle is for 7th. That's what they're all fighting for right now, the lead, 7th on back. So DeCiani is right there in that 4 car, the most consistent car all year without a win. And he's trying to hang on as Nolan Hodgson's trying to make a pass on him to the inside. And look at Coffey right there in the tail end trying to make a move as well.
DeCiani, by the way, looking for his 15th top 10 of the season in 25 appearances. Only Dyson and Delaney have more. It would be remarkable if he could manage that, but he's under pressure here late on for that top 10 position because Coffey's alongside him, Pearson and Williams queuing up behind him.
That 12 car is able to get the clean air, and I think he's going to pull away. Let's take a look a little further back. We got a couple cars still side by side, DeCiani and Coffey. I think DeCiani's fallen off a little bit here at the end, but he's just got to hang on to one of those spots. He can't give them all up if he wants to keep his top 10 streak running along. 4 car right there. Still going to have to make the outside work for 2 more laps. But back up front while we're talking about it, Gallotta. Again, 2.5 seconds to the good. And right here, you're seeing a battle for second. Correction. This is a battle for 4th, starting to heat up. Paul Hill as we got the white flag. 1 lap to go in the full-length Cup Challenge. here. Joseph Galata down the back straightaway for the final time into turns 3 and 4 here at Richmond. He's going to come out of the final corner, and he will win his first race of the year as a part-timer here in the Full Length Cup Challenge at Richmond.
And just behind, Murray did get past Hill for that 4th place, just at the line. Murray just about keeping those positions. He was losing time towards the end. It allowed Andrew Dyson to get into the top 3, but just about holds on for 4th behind. But what a great drive from Joseph Galata. You're unlikely to see a more dominant drive ever than that. I'm not sure how many laps he led tonight, but it'll be over 350.
Absolutely. He's just one of those guys that's got a lot of speed and is able to show it. He went out there and he won the race in dominating fashion. That 99 car is a winner in the Full Length Cup Challenge. He's doing a burnout here on the front stretch here at Richmond Raceway. What a phenomenal run again. Absolutely crazy finish. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break, and we're going to be right back to be able to show you the finishing results and to talk with our winner, Joseph Galata, and the rest of our top 3, Adam Benefiel and Andrew Dyson, having yet another great day here at the racetrack. But again, we'll be right back after these messages.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
After an exciting 400 laps here at Richmond, we come down to the finish to see Joseph Galata standing on top of the mountain, winning here at Richmond Raceway in the Full Length Cup Challenge, followed by second place finisher Adam Benefiel, who seemed to have a great car all night, able to come back through the field from 24th to 2nd, not quite to the lead, but gets a podium tonight, followed by our third place finisher Andrew Dyson, 5-time winner on the year, gets yet another podium. Behind them will be the rest of our top 10 finishers: Alex Murray, Paul Hill, Cameron Stone, Nolan Hodgson recovering well from the accidents to finish in 7th. Alex Coffey will get 8th. 9th will be Matt DiCiani, and 10th will be Neil Pearson.
It's 11th for Stephen Williams, also on the lead lap, these guys, by the way. Justin Hall in number 1 got 12th. Devin Medeiros 13th at the end of his trials and tribulations. Jacob Simpson and Lucas Hutchmer round out those who finished in the top 15. Sean O'Brien Jr. was the last driver on the lead lap. William Owens, Jonathan Delaney finished 1 down, with Tyler Hunter and Matthew Boston Wheeler rounding out the top 20.
21st tonight will be Rich Kleinman. Finishing in 22nd will be Billy Brickley, followed by Brandon Hastings, 23rd, Tanner Marty, Clayton Hoffman, Evan Mesnard, Ralph Hutchinson, Bobby Anderson, Chris Davis, and Matthew Long round out your top 30 finishers, with 31st being Chad Sanner, Patrick Gitter, Daniel Llewellyn, Corey Cook, Dave Hoytsma, and rounding out our field is Robert Miller in 36. Well, let's go ahead and bring in our winner of today's race. Joseph Galata is going to be joining us up here in the booth here in just a moment. And there he is. All right. Joseph Galata, Kirk Mills in the booth. You got a copy?
What's up?
Hey, man, you got the win. It took you 4 tries. You got it. Here at the end, tell me, Galata, how you feel, man? You got it done on a dominating fashion. Anything you want to talk about in terms of that race? How's it feel?
Car was stout. You know, me and my boys at CFM Performance, Nolan Hodgson, Paul Hill in particular, we sat here for 2 days straight, making sure this thing was ready to go. I can't believe it. Dominated too. Made up for Iowa.
You had Iowa in the bag as well, but a couple mistakes left you out from a chance of winning that one. But tonight you get to overcome that. And now you are officially a winner in the Full Length Cup Challenge, one of the most difficult racing series that they have right here, right now at this time. You're able to survive the whole race, get to the win. Tell me, was there at any point in that race where you thought that this was going to be a difficult or a challenge for you, or did you have confidence it was going to be easy the whole way? Was there any chance that you had any struggle anywhere in the middle of the race?
Yes. I mean, Adam was really, really good long run. So that last run right before we got the yellow that caused all the string of yellows, I backed up my pace significantly from the pace that I originally was setting during the race to try and make sure I could keep him at bay. Clayton, I thought had me, but he seemed to fall off pretty hard. And other than that, I mean, Paul, he was quick too. But no, I kind of just set into a rhythm and just kind of went off sailing, you know?
I hear you loud and clear. Now tell me, is there anybody you want to shout out for this win? Anybody you want to shout out?
Yeah, like I said, everybody at CFM Performance, all the guys that helped me build this setup, you know, lots of laps ran. You know, I had Nolan run a bunch of laps to kind of vet the car. Same with Paul, just to get second, third opinions. And yeah, other than that, I mean, yeah, that's what really it. And you guys for the broadcast,
Well,
and Bobby and Bobby for putting the league on. You know,
yeah,
it's fun.
Were you surprised by his charge there to get the second stage there at the end? I just want to get your thoughts on that while we still have you here.
It was cheeky. It was cheeky. I mean, I was like, who's this car coming up here? I'm like, oh, he must have taken tires. I'm like, I got nothing for him. You know, I really wanted to win all the stages and the overall win, but you know, hey, listen, I'm not really competing for the points. It's just bragging rights at this point. So he needed them more than me. So I let him go.
Well, that was so kind of you, but I got to tell you, he definitely put on a show just as you did right there. So congratulations on the win. And are we going to see you next week at Daytona?
You bet it.
All right. We'll see you there, man. Best of luck to you. And congratulations on your first win in the Full Length Cup Challenge.
Thank you so much.
That was our winner. And Joseph Galata there doing a great job tonight. But now we are on to Adam Benefiel, who's going to be with Ewan.
Adam, welcome in. Congrats on second tonight from Richmond. You were in traffic, I felt, through a lot of that race. Do you feel that was really holding you back, especially in the first 300 laps or so, when you were sort of stuck in these restarts with a good car, but behind a lot of people?
Yeah, I mean, first off, sorry, I got my little boy in the background playing video games, so if y'all hear him, sorry. But yeah, kind of dug ourselves in a hole from the get-go. Stepped on it in qualifying and was trying to get. I preached not to stare at the little green bar at the top of the screen, and that son of a gun was so far to green that I got throttle happy and just whiskey throttled straight up out of 4. So it put us near, you know, starting deep, and I figured we could get to the top 10. I knew we had a long run car. That's kind of like what I go for, but it, especially here, but I didn't realize how good it really was long run. You know, that first green or that stage 1, and then we kind of lost the racetrack a little bit. Track dropped in temp, and hang on. But yeah, sorry, my boy was getting loud. But we kind of lost track. It got cold. We got tight, and then we had to try to catch back up to the racetrack. And we got good again, and it showed. But I couldn't. I could somewhat stay there, but I really needed 40 plus laps. I needed 40 laps, and I think I could have got to him easily.
Yeah, I did say actually that final run was sort of it was a good amount of time for Galata and his car especially. But just tell us about how your car changed throughout the day. You mentioned the track temperature there. We actually got some word in the first 100 laps in the first stage The cars were tight. We saw the difficulty in passing as well early on. How did your car change as the sun went down and the lights came on?
Well, I mean, you'd figure with as long as I've been doing this, I would know better, but it started off too good too early type situation. It showed we fired out the gate, drove from 24th to, I don't know where we finished, 5th or 6th or something in stage 1. And, I should have known, that the track was going to change, and I didn't. And I kind of lost it at the beginning of stage 2 and was just too tight then. And then the track kept dropping temp, so I finally got it freed up enough to where I could roll with it. And then we got it really, really good there in stage 3. But we can't have a green flag run. So I think if we would have went green right there with 100 and something to go, it was going to be a completely different ball game. He really dropped hard, especially after 50. He started falling pretty good after 40, but after 50, it was night and day difference. And our car just kept getting stronger and stronger.
Well, congrats on the second place run tonight. And thanks for chatting to us after the race as well.
Yep, thanks.
Thanks very much. Adam Benfield finishing in second place tonight at Richmond.
Now we're going to go ahead and speak with our third place finisher, Andrew Dyson, up here again, getting another interview. Tell me, Andrew, I mean, you just got one more race, and then I think you got this regular season championship in the bag here. Tell me, how was this night for you?
It was really great, man. The whole race was really good. Had a lot of good battling. A lot of good racing around a lot of people. There was that one stuff up I made. Actually, I probably had a couple minor stuff ups, really, let's be honest. But the one big stuff up I made, I ran straight into Jonathan there. I was just too high going into one because I thought I was a little hot. So I was trying to give myself a little room or drive into a little gap if I needed to, which I didn't in the end, and just ran into the side of John. So I had to think about it after the race and decided that I'd dedicate this third place to the memory of Jonathan Delaney. Last seen turn 1 going backwards into the fence. Completely my fault. But yeah, sorry to John for that. And sorry to anyone else who got caught up in it. But yeah, completely my fault. Other than that, feels bad, but still feels pretty good.
So let me ask you this, man. Towards the end of that race, did you have anything for that 99 at all? Anything saved in the tank? Or what were your thoughts on tonight in terms of staying up towards the front?
No, certainly not me. I mean, yeah, I wasn't faster than, I think there was a few cars out there that were faster than me. I think the start of the race took a couple of guys out or put them towards the back, which made it harder for them. But yeah, I probably wasn't. I don't feel like I was a top three car on pace tonight, but positioning and circumstances got me here.
Well, congratulations on the top 3. Is anybody who want to shout out here this afternoon?
For sure, man. I'll get it right this week and say Rocco Performance, I believe, is where the setups come from. So without setups, like I said last week, me personally, I'm pretty much a non-starter. So appreciate that. Thanks to all the guys coming out for a drive. Thanks to you guys for talking about pixelated race cars. And shout out Bobby, Jason, and Bryson for adminning the series for us. Really appreciate it.
Andrew, we're going to see you next week at Daytona.
I will be there. I'll be a participant. Nothing more. I'll be somewhere out there. Okay. You might see me. You might not. I mean, yeah. See what happens.
Well, all right, man. We'll see you next week at Daytona for the wild card race. Thanks so much for talking with us.
Yeah. See you guys.
That's our third place finisher. We have now spoken with all of our top 3 podium drivers. And next week, it's the big day, Daytona. So exciting. It's going to be the regular season finale, August 23rd at 8:25 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tell me, Ewan, what was your thoughts on tonight here at Richmond, and what are you thinking about moving to Daytona?
Well, absolutely. It's the classic place to end the regular season, isn't it, Daytona? With another great super speedway round. It's going to be very exciting to see if anybody can make that jump into the playoffs on the final day. Pretty much know who's going to be making it in on points if things all stay equal, but we don't quite know the 16 drivers just yet. Even in isolation, Daytona always a really exciting race to watch in next-gen cars. Not quite Daytona 500, but we're nearly going that distance again. It's going to be very exciting to watch. Hoping for a good round of the championship, as I'm sure it will be.
160 laps around that track, but tonight here at Richmond, I gotta tell you, we had a lovely time. A lot of racing up front, a lot of accidents that happened throughout the night. My name's Kirk Mills. I'm the host for the show. We got Ewan O'Leary here as our color commentator tonight, DJ Lyon producing, and we just want to say thank you so much for watching Maconi Entertainment, and we'll see you next time from Daytona. Thank you.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.